Can you guys hear me?
Ringo, introduce yourself to my chat.
Hi, my name is Ringo Okada VA. I am a streamer, gamer, voice actor, international idiot, and I'm also the leader of the Apple Thieves. Hello, guys, if you don't know me. I think a lot of you guys already know me, but if not, hi.
They should. And I gotta make sure you're loud enough. Talk again.
Hi, hi, hi,
Say
hi.
something like, oh no. Okay, now you're too loud. Okay, try again.
Hello.
There we go.
Can you guys hear me?
Quiet.
Do you guys hear me? Did you guys know Mari is a pillow princess?
Quiet. Don't out me.
I think they all know.
No, they don't.
Alright. So, we have decided to watch some animated horror shorts.
Yeah.
Letting you all know right now, did not preview any of these. These are all on YouTube. So we will see how it goes. Also, I lost YouTube Premium. 'Cause I forgot to pay it. So there may be ads. I'm sorry. We'll just try to skip those and mute those.
How dare, how dare.
But yeah. I'm ready to go when y'all are. Let's see.
What in the world?
You able to hear that okay on your stream?
Yes. They should be able to. I have the bottom. I'll turn the volume up some more, just in case.
I'll play a little bit in the pause just to make sure.
Mm.
Okay. Let's go. It's called Wrong Turn. I think this is a full series.
Had always been adventurous, never the one to shy away from a dare or a thrill. So when her friends challenged her to drive alone on the desolate, eerie stretch of highway known as Whispering Hollow Road, she accepted without hesitation. It was a moonless night, and the only light came
We
from
don't
the
do stuff
dim
like
glow.
that.
Is that a real shot of someone driving through like the woods and then they made like spectral vision to make it look like it's more cartoony?
It looks like they just put a filter over
Yeah,
it.
that's what I was thinking. Cause like I mean like the drawing and the animations aren't bad, but you can tell that looks like it's a very obvious like driving
Of her
scene.
car's headlights,
Yeah.
which
Just for like the lighting
sliced
effects.
through the darkness like a fragile lifeline. The
Fragile.
dense woods on either side of the road loomed like silent sentinels, their branches reaching out to claw at the car as she sped down the narrow, winding path. The wind whispered through the trees, creating
I mean, they did it pretty well, though.
ghostly sounds that sent shivers down Jenna's spine.
Not the shivers.
As she drove deeper into the heart of Whispering Hollow Road, Jenna's unease grew. The road twisted and turned, seemingly endless, with no signs of civilization in sight. She couldn't help but wonder why this place was so infamous among the locals. The stories she had heard were full of ominous warnings, tales of travelers who had ventured onto this road and had never returned.
You're gonna be the dummy to follow them.
The radio
might as well.
to life. It had been silent the entire journey, but now it emitted a distorted voice. Jenna's heart pounded in her chest as she...
I mean, if you wanted to turn back, how are you going to turn back? It's a one-lane road.
Reverse out that motherfucker.
You're going to be falling if you go any other way.
She tried to make sense of the eerie message.
Reverse, motherfucker. Reverse.
Don't forget to have a knife under the seat, and don't forget to leave a cap in every ass. Exactly. Exactly, Dr. Phil, you know.
The steering wheel tightened, and she pressed her foot harder on the accelerator. She was
That's not
determined
the
to
noise
prove
that
that
makes.
she wasn't afraid of a few ghost stories.
So bad. I
The
have no
road seemed
clue.
to stretch on forever, and Jenna's nerves were on edge. Shadows danced at the edge of her vision, and strange shapes darted across the road in front of her. She couldn't tell if they were real or figments of her imagination. As Jenna rounded
Where
a
is she going?
particularly sharp curve,
Oh no,
her
she took
headlights
the dare but
illuminated
has no
something that
destination.
made her blood run cold.
Oh, did it? Oh, hell no. And you gonna stop? You gonna stop? Bitch, press on that gas.
Pale
I
ghostly
Press
mean,
on
you
that
have a
gas.
car, run into it.
in the middle of the road. It was a young girl, her long, wet hair clinging to her face. The girl stared at Jenna with hollow, empty eyes, and Jenna could feel a profound sense of dread washing over her. She had heard stories of a ghostly hitchhiker who haunted this road, a tragic spirit seeking a ride to her final destination. Summoning every ounce of courage, Jenna spoke.
I'm sorry, Pufferfish. I'm sorry, man.
Okay?
Keep fighting, man. Fight the good fight. Do a power squeeze. Yeah, get a power squeeze.
Mm-mm.
Deep breaths. Deep, solemn breaths.
Oh, hell no. Fuck that shit, bitch. Speed, speed, speed. You're not speeding fast enough for me. You're not going fast enough for
Jenna
me.
quickly realized
Hurry up.
that coming here
You don't want
was
to go
a
off the
huge
road.
mistake. She wanted to get out of here as fast as possible.
Bitch, you dumb
Suddenly,
fool.
the radio started
Guys, Pufferfish
playing
is fighting for their life right now. Oh my lord. Keep going, Pufferfish. You got it. I believe in you. Maybe,
Come on, Pufferfish, you got this.
maybe this will scare the crap out of you, since you know nature won't. Not gonna lie, worried about that myself, Pufferfish. I had some spicy ramen.
Oh, fuck! Fucking asshole!
Got you.
Oh, hell no.
I think I've just one more mile to go. Then it'll be
Bitch.
all over.
Hurry
I'll
up.
never have to come back here again.
Why'd you go there in the first place?
Oh,
Stupid radio. Why is it not
fuck!
turning off?
Bitch, get out of there! Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
How'd she just, like, arrive in the back there?
God.
Like many others who took a wrong turn and got lost on Whispering Hollow Road, Jenna sadly never returned
Wink
back.
at me. Dr.
and
Phil,
no one will ever
no!
know what happened to her.
Oh, it's the other one, Pufferfish. Okay. I'll come and wink at me. I'll wink at you.
Oh, my.
Maybe, hon. Let me get my eye just to work.
She done carjacked her. Yeah, fair. She is Sis's carjacked. She is done for. It's an ad.
No, you don't get
You
free ad.
You don't get no free advertisement on my stream.
I can't get rid of the video, but you guys don't get to hear the audio.
I turned off them looking at it.
Bum.
Oh goodness. Oh no, it's another one.
Okay, we're good.
Okay.
I will get Prime again here soon, guys. Dun.
I've only been dating Ty for 3 weeks when he asked me to go camping with him. I'm a city girl.
Yeah.
I hate nature.
Yeah,
But he kept pressuring me until I gave in. He said that he found this perfect place in the forest.
Look at
and since
him,
things
honey.
were going so well between us, he really wanted
Yeah,
to
this
take me.
bags under his eyes. So you can tell
Can
We
we,
he's.
went to
like,
the forest
pop
outside
that
the
shit,
city
though?
and parked off the road.
Let me pop it.
Then
Please
Ty
let
took
me
on
pop
a
it.
2-hour hike to his favorite spot.
First
I
of
was
all, you done
surprised
for
when
wearing your hair down on a camping trip.
Hold on. So,
Huh?
first date. He pressured this girl to go on a first date. He's like, you know what? That's the perfect spot to take you for a first date. Let's go 2 miles in the middle of nowhere. That sounds great, right? Let's do it.
Yep.
We're going to go camping at my favorite spot that only I know when you don't. Okay.
when we got there because it was just another area of forest. There wasn't even much of a clearing. I asked him if he was sure this was the right place, and he said,
Dang,
Bro hasn't
pufferfish.
touched
"Absolutely.
sleep in
I've taken people here
days.
before."
Dang, pufferfish.
I thought that was a weird thing to
Yeah.
say, but I quickly forgot about it. He started pitching
Hey,
They
Jay,
kind
I'm
of
just
look like
saying.
Family Guy
They
characters.
do a little bit. I'm just saying. Some people get plenty of sleep, but still have dark eyes, okay? I always have dark
Mhm.
eyes. I mean, I'm a raccoon,
That's
but
because
you
you
know.
don't get enough sleep.
No, it's because I'm a raccoon. I'm born that way, damn it.
No, you're not fully rested enough.
the tent, and he asked me to go collect firewood.
Do you look like
Agree.
Carrot Top? He does look like Carrot
Tyler
Top.
assured me that there wasn't any bears or other dangerous animals in the area.
Let me pop that
just-
zit.
The only dangerous animal is him.
Him and me. I walked for a bit, but I couldn't find much usable wood. It had rained recently, and everything was
I
too
got
wet,
some use. Never mind.
so I kept going. Eventually, I found another clearing that had a pile of dry sticks, so I started gathering them up. It was
Bitch,
a
you about to
strange
die.
pile.
That
was like
The
a
person had
trap.
gathered
And that's
the
where I
wood and
found
just
the
left it
body.
there. After I had an armful,
I almost
I
got
noticed
14
something
hours
on the
straight of
ground.
sleep and still had black areas under my
Pile of
eyes.
sticks was
Exactly,
covered in a
pufferfish.
deep
Exactly.
hole with
What's up,
something at the
Jay?
bottom.
What's up? What's up?
I was lucky I didn't fall in myself. I pulled aside
Pokemon
a bit
Unite
more
is
of the wood
going
and
all
gasped.
right. 2 out of 3
There in
games
the
won.
pit was a
Awesome.
dead
Oh
woman.
shit! I was right. There's a
No,
body.
Not just a single woman.
There's like 2
The
of
pit
them.
was filled with bodies, half sticking out of the mud. The body on top, a blonde woman wearing high heels, stared back at me with glossy eyes. Horrified, I ran back to the campsite and told Tyler
Back
Honey,
to
he
things
about to
support this
kill you.
raccoon.
He
Yes,
got me a
Jay,
hug
support
and
this
told me
raccoon.
everything was going to be okay.
He's
He
about
took
to
out his
kill
phone and called
you.
911, but he couldn't get a signal.
You'll be joining them
He told me
soon.
to wait right there while he tried to get the call to connect. I
Waited
waited by the
to
tent
leave
while
you
Tyler
when there's a
wanted to
serial
leave.
killer on the
Now that I
loose.
was-
Yeah, let me
Oh my
leave.
god.
Once again, let me leave you in a spot where you have
Yeah.
no idea where you are, and I'll make a call.
Mm-mm.
I was alone.
Ringo, can I
Everything
admit
seemed
something to
crash
you?
down
Sure,
on me.
pufferfish, go ahead.
I started to hyperventilate. But then Ty came back and helped me sit down. He said that the police told him they'd get here in about 20 minutes. We should just sit tight and wait.
No,
I didn't want
bitch.
to wait. I
Leave.
wanted to get out of there. He told me that we needed to stay here and give our statements to the police.
No, the
He guided
fuck
me
we
back to
don't.
the tent and told me to just rest my eyes while we waited. I did as I was told, but I also stole his phone from his pocket while he
Never
took me into
faced
the
me
tent.
nor interested me.
There's
Oh
something
my,
about his
that's dark as
expression that
hell.
I didn't trust.
I mean, that's okay,
Yeah,
pufferfish.
bitch. There's a reason he
Never
don't
seen
get
him
no
smile
fucking
like that.
sleep.
He looked devious, and I wanted to see if he actually called 911 like he said.
Damn him.
Once he left me alone in the tent, I pulled out his phone
Check
and
his
looked up
phone.
his call history.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Here's the
Bitch,
thing.
you about to die.
Most modern phones almost always require a passcode. At least for the most part. I mean, I guess you can deactivate that, but I think almost everyone I know has passcodes.
right. He'd faked the phone call to the police.
I mean, for a good
Why?
minute, I didn't
didn't
have a
make any
passcode
sense.
until I got
I
a
wasn't
roommate.
sure why.
I mean, I don't even know if I can turn it off on my phone. I would. I just do Face ID now, but
I thought of this, but I
Yeah.
decided to go through his photos to see if there was something he wasn't telling me. I saw dozens of photos of the two of us from the last few weeks, smiling.
Look
and
at the way
happy.
he looking.
Then,
Somebody
Yeah.
need to
got
pop
down
his
into the
zit.
photos
This feel
from
like a
before
third
we
eye.
met. I saw him posing with his ex Nancy, whom
Uh-uh.
I met once before. One photo showed the two of them camping just like us.
look at
She was
those
wearing high
speedies.
heels for some reason. Like me, clearly
Beats
he
for
forced her into
free?
hiking with him. She looked very unprepared for the trip.
Okay, why are you hiking?
In
yeah.
heels.
Oh yeah, Jay, he's totally the
I
killer.
think he took her. I think he took her without her knowing.
He's a killer. Yes, Jay. I think he's the killer. I said
That's
that
when
like
the
right
phone
off the
That's
bat.
the
out of my
horror movie
hands. Nancy was
mindset.
the woman in the pit. It had to be her. That meant that Ty was a killer.
She's the killer.
He took his ex-girlfriends to this part of the woods, murdered them, and dumped their bodies in the pit. And now, he was going to do the same to me. I burst out of the tent, ready to run for my life. But Ty stopped me. He had a machete in his hand. "You figured it out, huh?" he said, smiling. "I was
So
gonna
my
wait till
question is,
tonight,
while she
but
was sitting in the
you know,
tent, why she
you're
ain't
just
calling
too
911?
smart for your own
Yeah,
good."
as soon as he saw he didn't call 911, he should have been like, "Yeah, I'm out."
Called or texted if you can't speak. Because,
oh my
honey,
lord, honey.
Still gripping my arm, he swung the machete forward. He
Oh,
would have sliced
fuck
right
that
into my
shit.
shoulder if I didn't twist out of the way. I kneed him as hard as I could.
That's
Also-
not what I meant by knife play.
Here's my hey, that's naughty. Also, just on his side, if
Right in the nut.
if you're an experienced murderer, why don't you have like a backup plan? Like, yeah, I'm just going to corner this lady and hit with a machete. Like, I mean, shouldn't your backup plan be like, you know what? I got a gun. I'm just going to shoot her first, and
No,
then
not too comfortable
I'll do
with
the
it.
knife play.
And when he let go of me, I jumped out of the tent and ran into the woods.
I mean, I guess they say some serial killers
I had
just
no
like
idea
the
where I
like
was going.
rush
I
of
kept
getting the
running
kill
as fast
before they
as I
actually
could.
kill them. They don't want to actually kill
It was
them.
starting to rain and the sun had already
Yeah.
set, so I could barely see the trees around me. I didn't know I was going in the same direction as the pit until I tripped and fell directly into it.
You dumb
It happened so
bitch.
fast that I didn't even realize I'd fallen until I saw the bodies around me. They squished under me as I tried to pull myself out of the pit.
I know that
It was
stank.
so deep that I couldn't even reach halfway to the top.
Dang, right in the
The
nuts,
smell.
exactly,
It
Jay.
was the most horrible smell I'd ever experienced.
Almost
And
like
you
a
gonna touch
smell of
your
dead
face.
bodies.
Straight into hell. I looked up and saw Ty standing at the top of the pit, looking down at me. He giggled. I'd never heard him giggle before. He still had his machete. Well, he said, I guess I don't need to kill you now. You'll just have to starve to death. Down
No,
there.
but somebody needs to kill that zit on your fucking face.
Wait. So, sorry, just reacting to this. So, not only did he only go like 2 miles out to camp at this place, it has just a pit with dead bodies covered loosely by sticks. He's now like, you know what? Since you fell in the pit, I don't gotta kill you. You'll starve to death. Because there's not, other campers or people who could be around. Like, you know how isolated you have to be for no one else to wander across an area? It's more than 2 miles. Like, it has to be like almost in the middle of nowhere, like middle of the Amazon or shit, for there to be no one coming across. Especially, I guess I don't know where this like takes place, but like especially in, like America, where I'm from, like
Oh yeah.
there's almost everywhere has been discovered. There's not a lot of hiding places.
What?
So if you just have a pit of dead people or if someone here, they're gonna be screaming, and so I'll be there instantly. Not instantly. No, within at least an hour. She's not gonna starve.
Was there really no way out? I looked around the edges of the pit. Because of the rain, the ground was slick and muddy. He was right. There was no way that I could escape. Of course, he added, even though you're stuck down there, you don't have to starve. After all my camping trips up here, I left you plenty of meat.
Wow.
He was talking
Ugh,
about
you
the
nasty
rotting corpses.
bitch.
Everything was
That meat is spoiled by now, good sir. You're letting her starve.
so muddy and tangled together, I couldn't tell how many bodies were down there with me. I was about to throw up, but I choked it back. As long as Ty was still there, maybe I could convince him to help me out. I knew that was insane, but it was my only hope. Why? I asked him. Why are you doing this? He didn't answer. He just shrugged and giggled. Well, I knew there was no use talking with him.
Yeah, Dr. Phil,
Nancy's
but
body
I mean,
was
even
right
in the
under me.
mountains,
I
like,
guess she
unless you're
was
way
lost.
off in like a dangerous path,
Not
most people will
realizing what I
cross
was
that
doing,
relatively
I pulled off
close.
one of her high
And
heel
even
shoes
then,
and
there'll be a lot of
started
people who'll be
slamming
like going
my
around the
heel
area.
on muddy wall
And man, I'm not saying they're going to go there all the time, but I'm saying like someone will be by
Ty asked
eventually.
me.
Not enough for there to be a pile
I
of like
never
8
planned.
bodies.
All I knew was that I would not allow myself to die in this pit. I kept digging and
She
digging
dumb
into
as
the
hell.
muddy
I
wall
would have waited for
until
the
the
nigga
whole side of the
to
pit
waited for the boy to
collapsed.
leave
The
and then
watery
do
ground
that.
slid down on top of me, but I dug myself out and started climbing to safety. Mud and God knows what else covered my face. I couldn't see anything, but I
Oh
grabbed
my
onto
God.
anything I could.
That's
and
smart.
pulled
Let's
myself
climb
out of the
before
pit.
I can see.
As I
It
wiped
puts the
mud off my
lotion in
face,
the skin,
I
or
could
else
see
it
Ty
gets the
behind
hose
me.
again.
When the side of
Exactly.
the pit collapsed, I guess he fell in after me. He was at the bottom of the pit now, surrounded by all his victims, and I could hear him
Huh?
scream.
All in. He had
Thanks
time
the
to
rain,
run.
I was able to wipe the gunk out of my eyes. I looked back at the pit. Surely Ty was about to climb out the same way I did and then attack again, but he didn't. I didn't see him anywhere. The hole was slowly filling up with mud and rain. I could still see bodies, but I couldn't see Ty. It was like he had been pulled into the ground itself. That night, I was able to find my way back to the tent. I stole Ty's car
I
and drove
understand that,
straight
Puffer
to the
Fish.
police station. They sent some officers to our spot in the woods. They found 8 bodies, but Ty was not among them.
What?
Don't know what happened to him, and I hope it stays this way.
I would like to know what happened to him because that's scary.
Wait. Okay. So, the cops went there, found 8 dead bodies that a woman found, being like, oh yeah, this guy named Ty is the one responsible. Not me, who reported the 8 bodies, and was the only one who knew where they were. This mysterious Ty dude, who was supposed to be in the hole, but's not, is what he did it.
Think of it like this. Technology is so advanced, they probably already have run autopsies and all types of shit on the body.
But what I'm saying is...
It wasn't in it at all.
Well, what I'm saying, though, is
along with his cell phone.
Unless they did, like, extensive, like, forensics, you wouldn't just outright be like, yeah, she's totally not responsible. She turned the bodies in. She's not responsible.
Even in that case, they would have to prove how she was responsible for it.
Well, I know, but then I just gotta, like, let her go scot-free. They'll at least keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
Anyways, more camping stories.
That day, I couldn't really understand why Greg was being so fussy about the hike. If he didn't want to come along, he should have just stayed at the campsite. Why would he go camping with us just to stay at the tent the whole time, though?
I feel you.
Okay, here's the thing. I can understand that sentiment. Okay, here's the thing. There's a lot of times where, like, guys or even girls want to be, like, a supportive partner to the partner. Be like, yeah, I'll go along. I'll be a part of it. But then, like, dread it.
But even so, why not participate in the activities that you agreed to go and do?
Yeah, that's true. Because, like, there was times when, like, when I used to be at a desk job all the time, I didn't want to stay inside. I don't want to go out and go for walks or stuff like that. But then the vice versa. When I was, like, a mechanic and stuff, I was outside working all the time. I didn't want to be outside to save my life. I wanted to stay inside, watch movies, and, da-da-da. And then one of my former partners had an office job the whole entire time we worked together. So they never wanted to be inside. They always wanted to be outside. So, like, we would try to spend time together, but it's just like, nope. There's going to be a little bit of bickering here and there, because, like, you want to spend time to go out, but then you really don't want to be outside or inside.
Isn't that the whole point of camping? Even if it was glamping, to immerse yourself in nature as much as you can? But in hindsight,
glamping looks fun, you can't lie.
What's glamping?
Glamour camping. Like, it's a really good, big, cute tent. Everything inside is all, like, really cutesy and aesthetically pleasing, and you're camping, but you're glamping.
So I thought it was funny because my parents would always get, like, a camper and be like, oh, we're going to go camping. And then they'd have a camper with, like, a grill and everything else. And it's like,
hell yeah.
This is just a mobile home at a campsite, essentially. Like, that's fine.
Look. All that matters is you get to experience it, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I like being in a different area and, like, camping out and, like, doing weenies, like, having, like, the fires and stuff. But I always thought it was funny because, like, I had, like, my cousin sleeping in a tent and then we'd be in a camper and it's like, wow, that looks like that sucked. All right, well, back to bed.
The hike started out great. It was a bright, sunny day.
Fuck that, be miserable while camping? Exactly.
Still finding things to be fussy about.
That's part of the experience of camping, is being miserable.
One minute it was bugs. The next it was weeds. And then it was some non-existent leeches. We handed him the bug spray and it managed.
He just hates it. That's not what I was talking about earlier. You can at least enjoy the walk and stuff. I understand being miserable. Like, that's just complaining to complain.
Just shut him up a little bit, though.
Me, I'm really scared about that because, like, with me, I'm like, oh my god, there's gonna be a tick. I'm gonna get a tick. Oh, I'm gonna get bit by a mosquito.
I mean, if you ever step outside, there's a chance of you getting a tick.
So we trusted
exactly, and I'm always scared of it.
Go a little bit off track.
Let's get. I am experienced with picking out ticks out of my fur.
We joined the actual trek, but this is a more scenic route. And she was right. We came across a clearing that overlooked the valley.
Oh no, Draco.
Breathtaking hills rolled, covered in evergreen trees as far as your eyes could see. A river ran somewhere down there. You could almost hear it, almost feel the cold, refreshing water on your skin. Suddenly, we heard the bushes rustling behind us. None of us registered it as something malicious. I think we all must have thought it was some hiker. It's not like Layla's path was such a hidden gem. But he came straight at us, axe swinging wildly in the air. Greg managed to dodge him in the nick of time.
Why did it take us so long to react? If you see that, you'll at least take a few steps away.
Barely escaping with his head intact.
Take some hot ashes from the campfire, put them around your area where you'll be sleeping to keep insects and snakes away. I heard of that before.
Layla led the way. We could hear him screaming behind us. What the hell?
Why does he look like a
Shouted
Goliath?
George. Just focus on getting back to the trek. People on camp will know what to do. Barked Layla, and we all silently agreed. We could still hear the men yelling behind us, screaming all
I
sorts
would
of
be so
obscenities.
mad if someone
This guy's
dragged me
super
out
crazy,
there when I didn't want to be out
explained.
there. Now we're all
You
running for our
think?
fucking lives.
Said George,
Exactly.
Exasperated. We kept running and running through the woods.
This is,
Sarcasm.
this is why I don't go outside, honey. Crazy Axemen trying to kill us. We would have stayed at the campsite. We would have been fine. Damn it.
And eventually, we did find the trek.
And if they survive this every time, they'll be like, "Oh, you want to go for a hike and have a crazy Axeman get us?
No.
Fuck that." You'll never live it down. You'll never live it down.
We ran all the way back to camp. We reached the campsite's entrance and saw it was full of people. Families with small kids were milling about. Everything seemed
80 guys just lead an axe murder to all of them.
so normal, but out of breath. We looked behind our shoulders, expecting the crazy man to be chasing us, but he was gone.
I think he knows where the
Huh.
campsites are by
Crowd must have
now.
scared him off,
Surely.
said Greg.
Who's the third
But
person
we have to
then?
tell someone about it.
I don't
I'll head on
know.
over to the office and warn them.
Who, the third person
Layla
here?
reasoned before
It's
she
her-
immediately
it's her friend.
stormed off.
It's a friend,
I
right?
stood
Yeah.
there, catching my breath, and looked at Greg. Tina, he said, heaving. I'm going back to the tent. I can't. And that was a good enough plan. I followed
Yeah.
him back to the
No
tent
shit.
and found that I couldn't do anything but scroll through my phone.
Wow.
Go home.
And eventually, I managed to fall asleep. When I woke up, it was
No,
dark
how about we
outside.
go home?
I couldn't find my phone, and Layla was also nowhere to be found.
Fucking
Greg was asleep
dumbasses.
beside me. I could tell he was in a bad
Layla
mood.
still hasn't came
I
back
could
from
tell
when she
he was
left
hungry.
earlier.
Poor guy. He didn't even want to go on the hike in the first place. The least I could do was get us all some food. And maybe
Dumbass,
Layla took my
exactly.
phone. I
White
wasn't too
people,
worried.
yeah.
Maybe it was somewhere in the
We do
tent.
that.
Greg could just be sleeping over it. On my way to the cafeteria, I registered how empty the place was.
Wait.
Cafeteria.
Stop this. Like, wait a minute. So they're like, oh, I'm in the middle of nowhere camping with all these other people. Oh no, like, we gotta get to the campsite so piss for salvation. They're just like, oh, let me just walk to the cafeteria. Like, wait a minute.
Didn't even warn them. Hey, there's a crazy ass motherfucker out there chasing people with a fucking axe.
You guys are within running distance back to the campsite and the cafeteria. And he's like, yep.
Let's find
Well,
out.
let
That's the one.
nobody know that there's a crazy X guy out there.
I guess families with kids
Guarantee
turned in
you
early.
that crazy axe man was
The
Nightfall.
cafeteria was also
Oh my
weird.
god, Hatchet.
Hello?
Could be. It could
I
be.
called out. No one replied. There was no lunch lady behind the counter, and the buffet was empty.
That's not a
I guess
cafeteria.
I must have really
Wow.
overslept. Was it actually
No
Also-
7 a.m.
bonkies.
or 2 a.m.?
No bonkies.
Where was Layla? Did they make her crash at the office?
Layla,
Nothing was making sense.
you got me on my knees.
I gave up. Going back to the tent sounded like the next logical move. Maybe Layla was back. She could have just been out
Thank
in
you for the
toilet or
hydrate.
something.
Oh, why
Right
the
before I left the
bonks?
cafeteria,
How dare!
At the corner of my eye,
The
I saw
betrayal.
something on a
The
table.
betrayal.
It was a Ouija board. Planchette
Oh,
included.
thank you for the head pats, Jay.
Huh? I chuckled to myself. That's funny. It's the ultimate campsite game, right?
For the brat. Thank you for the
Buffet.
bonk for the brat.
Could be a great way to take our minds
Wow.
off of what happened that afternoon.
Wait. Why is there just casually a Ouija board chilling out in the campsite?
Because people be crazy.
2 bonks for the brat.
Ringo.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Ringo, how dare you? Why you redeem that?
Oh, you gonna be a good girl and say it?
Damn it. Hey, damn. Ringo, you're such a good boy.
Oh, you're such a good girl.
Shut up. Wait,
As
how dare
predicted,
you?
Greg was fussy about it.
Wait. So her idea was like, there's no one around. No one around at all. Let's pull out the fucking Ouija board.
Layla was still not around, but
After we almost got
I
killed.
wasn't really worried about her. She's probably somewhere
Damn,
hooking
some
up with
friend
some
you
guy.
are.
Some hot dad looking for a summer fling. Wouldn't be
What?
the first time that's happened.
Wait.
managed to wrangle-
She just called her friend a whore?
Basically.
Wow.
I don't blame her
There we
friend
were,
though. I
sat
mean,
in
some
front of each
hot
other,
dad. I
one
wouldn't
finger
mind.
each on the planchette.
I mean, okay. I guess technically she's a third wheel on a date because I think they said that Greg and this girl are like together, and then she was
Yeah.
going with a friend. So like either her and her friend decided to do the hike, if she invited her man, which would make him like the third wheel, or they decided to do the hike, which didn't sound like Greg didn't want to go anyways. So it sounds like the two girls were going to go on the hike, and they're like, "Hey, my boo's coming," and then both of them are like,
They're just like,
"Fuck."
okay.
And so now that they were in a tent together, her friend's like, "Hey, let me get some poontang." And like, "Oh,
Wait, what are we supposed to do? How do we start this thing? Asked Greg. I guess we just have to call upon the spirits and talk to them?
No, bitch, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. You don't
Oh
even know what
my
the hell
God.
you're doing.
man, I miss premium." We're at 13 minutes.
Moved.
13
Greg's
minutes into
eyes
this.
went
We've had like
wide.
what, 12 ads?
Tina! Tell
Yeah.
me you're doing that! He screamed.
Doing
I
what?
couldn't control my excitement. I must have been grinning ear to ear when I told Greg it wasn't me.
Bitch, you look creepy as fuck.
But began focusing on the board as I did. It was moving from letter to letter. G. R. E.
Okay, I've never used the Ouija board before. I don't know if anyone else has. How many
Yes.
people have had like multiple people being like, "Oh, I swear I didn't move it."
Yeah.
Someone's moving it.
Hell no.
Look.
What?
In my defense, even when I did it on my own, that motherfucker moved.
Also, why you gotta be touching it for it to move? As long as you're touching the board, I feel like it's just moving on itself. That'd be much more believable.
Is it spelling my name?
Because it's part of the ritual.
Greg!
Nah.
I shouted.
Oh no, my screen
right,
went off.
that's
Hold
Greg.
on. Okay, there we go.
Wow.
Oh, that was
Tina.
scary.
Nice to meet you. Who are we talking to? The planchette kept moving.
Ah, yes, the Luigi board.
H. O.
R.E.
Who?
Talking to a whore! Oh no!
A. Was, said Greg, reading the planchette. The Axeman,
Drawn one
I
at
said,
school.
finishing the
Ooh.
sentence. The
Ours is
Axeman?
on cardboard.
Greg asked.
That one
Earlier
moved
today,
by itself when nobody
I don't
was
know
touching
who
it.
He was. He just came at us. Did he kill you? Is that why you want to know? The planchette began moving on its own again.
Nah,
This
that
time,
is the fucking
spelled out.
Axeman.
N-O. I read it out loud. No. I am.
You're so
L-
lucky I only have 100
A-
points. Ha!
Y-
That's what you get.
No, I'm Layla. You died, whispered Greg as he read the board.
Oh.
We sat there in silence, trying to process the information. That's why the whole camp
No
was empty
shit!
and why it was so dark
wait,
outside.
wait,
He
wait.
must have died this.
Are they saying that the Axeman killed Layla and everybody else at the campground, but left these two people alone? Is that what they're about to say?
Afternoon.
I don't know.
The X-Men got to us after all. Somehow, Layla survived, and she was the one contacting us with a Ouija board.
Oh,
She survived,
inverse.
she-
Those two died. Those two are dead. Those two are dead. These two are contacting Layla through the Ouija board, right? They're the ghost Layla's contacting. I get it.
Greg,
Oh.
we don't know who he was, right?
Ringo, can you?
We should tell her
No,
that. I guess let
Ringo
them handle it.
cannot.
Yes, it's the most logical thing to do next. I scoffed. We were dead, and somehow living in the afterlife. Two
Ah.
ghosts, still trying to figure out what was the next logical thing to do.
I'm not gonna lie, that's actually a pretty good twist. Insectos
It
play.
was my first time camping out in the woods.
He looks stressed.
He
But,
looks
like,
depressed.
He looks depressed, stressed, and about to unload. He
good.
needs some. He
You're a meanie.
needs something.
I'd been to a couple of those big camping and glamping sites before, which were usually equipped with facilities and had staff on hand
Glamping.
for emergencies.
How
But this
romantic.
time, we would be out in the boonies.
Glamping.
Just us and our tents.
Good thin to
in the
herd.
natural wilderness.
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I said
What's
I wasn't nervous
romantic?
about the
Me
trip.
being a meanie?
I wasn't the biggest fan of the outdoors, and the thought of having no access
No,
to
I think they
hot
meant dying
water
together.
or public conveniences or any of the
Oh.
usual home comforts.
Damn.
I mean, technically, if you're married, it says, till life or
Till
death. I
death do
mean,
us part.
till death do us part. And you know, that's why even in death, they're not apart. They beat the wedding.
Mhm.
They beat marriage, guys.
Wasn't the most appealing. But my brother really wanted to go, and I was the one he had asked. I'd always found it difficult to say
Dang, they
no to my
both look
brother.
tired and stressed.
He was younger than me by a couple of years, and I
Oh,
had
he
a
looked like he
he's
owned
the
something.
he's the younger one. I thought that was the older one.
We went on a weekday, since
He
we
is
both had to get
on
off work, and it meant the roads
something.
were quieter for travel. We packed everything up into the trunk of my car and made the 2-hour trip to the forest where we had decided to set up camp. Are you nervous? I asked as we pulled into the small gravel car park at the edge of the tree.
Okay, I don't know how many campers there are in our chats. How many people are like, you know what, I'm gonna go camping. I'm just gonna drive into the woods. I feel like most places have like, it's either like a national forest or like a designated camping ground now. I don't know how many people just like go to the woods randomly. It's like, yep, I'm gonna pack up here. Is that something people still
I
do?
mean, I think some people still do it.
Trees.
I think, but it's more than likely in an area they're really familiar with it, you know?
Because like even in my area, when people like go hunting, they usually set up things ahead of time, or they have like a hunting lodge, and like they go to like a little like cabin in the woods, and then go out and hunt from there.
Mhm.
I don't know if anyone who's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go
And camp in
to
this
the woods.
random
I'm
spot.
just gonna camp at this random spot.
Draco
Hopefully,
said sometimes.
hopefully I won't have some skunk gate. Befriend me.
Bruh, Draco,
Not
I
really,
cannot camp
Jake
in
said with that
Australia.
casual
I would
shrug of his.
die.
Wow,
Oh well, yeah, Draco's Australian. They don't
I
count.
bit my
Australians just go to the outback and like party.
lip.
They're a
He
different
almost seemed
breed.
like an uncool older brother, but I didn't want to lie to him either about my reservations. A little. I've never gone camping out in the wild before, I said.
Oh my god!
No.
I don't care, Genshin Impact. Show me waifus, not slimes, damn it.
His eyes. I would hardly call it the wild, he said, unclipping his seatbelt and pushing the door open. We'll be fine.
He really
We
looked
have
like he
radios
on
and
something.
plenty of
Damn,
emergency
I need
supplies.
$12 like now.
I nodded,
Tired
stepping
of these
out onto
fucking
the gravel
ads.
and taking a deep breath of the fresh pine-scented air.
I need food.
You're right. I'm sure it'll be fine.
You had food.
We hauled
No,
our
I
gear
got
out of the trunk,
ice cream and
2
soda.
heavy backpacks and a
Wait.
I locked the
Wait.
car behind.
So your chat was waiting for you 3 times, being like, "I thought you were getting food. You were just getting ice cream and soda. You still have not eaten
Yeah.
succubus."
No.
Oh my lord! Go get food.
Just ate some.
Oh my god. Oh my god, guys. Okay.
It's
Behind me
late
before we set
all
off into
day
the
and I
forest.
finally got some ice
It was
cream.
immediately darker beneath the trees, despite it still being a little before midday.
And then when I was
The
getting
air was
hydrate
humid.
redeems, I was
I
drinking the
swallowed
soda.
bugs and twigs out of my face with a disgruntled sigh.
Oh
You're gonna
god.
have to get used to the bugs, Jake said with a chuckle. I brought bug spray if you get desperate. You could have told me that before we started walking.
Drake, I think that was before I got here.
Ringo,
Jake
wasn't
only
you
grinned,
listening?
showing no remorse.
Draco, I was using my time effectively trying to riz her up, okay?
Whatsoever. There were places
I
in the
was
forest
using
that were
my
marked
time
as
efficiently,
appropriate
trying to get my
campsites,
ice
and Jake
cream.
had chosen one in an open clearing close to a river. I could hear it trickling through the undergrowth. When
You
we
got
reached the
3
site
meat
and
stuffed
started
crust
setting up.
baking? Damn, Dr.
It took
Phil.
us just
I want
under an
that.
hour to get the tent set up and unpack all of our supplies.
I want food
By the
now.
time we were finished, I had worked up the
I want to stuff
my
some meat. I
forehead
mean, I want some
slick with
pizza.
Perspiration. I wiped it away and
Drink
took a long
water,
swig from my
Mari.
flask of
No!
water.
Wait.
Now
When
that-
you guys do hydrates, you drink water?
I was drinking my soda. Hey, I try to eat and drink some water just because you're very good friends, how much I care for you. Oh, thank you. But I'm gonna continue drinking Sprite. I mean, it looks like water.
I mean, I thought we were supposed to drink liquor, but okay. But I look
Oh,
on the
I
internet
didn't
for
grab any
ideas.
liquor yet. I didn't grab any liquor yet.
That's out of the way. I'm going to explore, Jake said. looking as though he was about to rush off through the trees. Hey, not so fast, I said, grabbing him by his elbow. We're not separating for a moment that we're out here. He pouted. Seriously? Even when I need to take a leak?
Yep.
I rolled my
You gotta
eyes.
hold hands while
"You're
you
my
take a
baby
leak.
Bro, I'm not letting
We're gonna
anything
be
happen to
back
you
to
while
back.
we're here."
Back to back.
Shoved me off.
Back
"You
to
had a
back.
baby
Because you're
in
not
there,
leaving
Alex,"
me.
he said gruffly.
Mario, are you free
"Fine, let's go
tomorrow?
together.
Yes.
You
Why? Are you
remember how to
planning a
find the
date?
campsite?" Jake nodded, taking out his compass. Out here in the forest with limited signal. we
Riz
had to
'em up,
go
Draco,
old
riz 'em
school with
up.
our equipment. No fancy GPS out here. All right then, let's
Look,
go.
if you
When
want
we
to
come
take
back,
me
I'll
on
get
a
started
date,
on
get me
dinner.
some food first.
We left the campsite in the clearing and headed deeper into the forest, following a northeast trajectory according to Jake's compass. The further we
A
went, the
compass.
thicker the trees became, pressing
Compass.
close together to create a dense, almost impassable thicket. A clump of sharp twigs.
No, we
sagged
need to
me
be
back
holding
and tore a
hands
hole
walking
through
through
the
that.
material of my shirt. I
Look,
cursed
look,
out loud,
your brother's
trying
still
to
walking.
untangle the branches
Bitch,
from my clothes.
bitch.
Where's that stick at?
Pulled free and glanced up.
Up his ass.
Jake was gone. Panic burned through my
Damn,
chest like a
terrible
raging
big brother.
fire, and I scanned the trees ahead of me for any sign of my brother. Jake? Jake, where did you go?
State Farm.
When he didn't answer me, my panic doubled, and I dashed forward through the trees, not caring when branches scratched and tore at my skin. Jake! This was exactly what I had been afraid of.
Not the
The
khakis.
forest was large, and it was far too easy to get lost. The more I thrashed and stumbled through the trees, the more disoriented I grew, the sky barely visible through the canopy, giving me no clue as to which direction I was headed. It was starting to get dark as well. The shadows were growing thicker around me, making it harder to see. Jake! Where? My voice died in my throat when I glimpsed a figure standing behind the trees ahead of me. Only part of their silhouette was visible, like an ink blot on
Dip, dip,
canvas.
dip, 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 dip.
Oh my god!
We can Pokemon Unite tomorrow, then share because I'll make sure something delicious with only one ingredient to the phone. Okay,
Hey,
we can
Jake.
play Pokemon
I
Unite
stumbled
tomorrow.
forward, reaching out to him, when something stopped me. A hand on my shoulder.
Oh, fuck
I
that
almost
shit, I'm
screamed,
out.
spinning round. Jake was standing behind me, a concerned look on his face. Whoa, Alex, I'm right here. What's wrong? My heart thundered in my chest as I caught my breath. I thought I'd lost you, I said, my voice still a little shaky. Then I frowned. If Jake was here, then who had I seen standing
Who
behind
the
the trees just
fuck
now?
was in?
With a start, I turned to where
Bitch.
I'd seen the shadow. The trees were empty. There was nobody there.
Think you like me and UVC tomorrow? Yes. Only one to call Jake now, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there.
Fuck the bears, the ketamine's wearing off, bro. Damn. Also, Mari, is your screen blacked right now?
Oh, it is. Why is it black? There we go. Bad.
Had I simply imagined it?
No.
Alex, is something wrong?
See, that's how I know
I
chat don't be
swallowed
paying
hard,
attention.
shaking my head. No, nothing's wrong. It's starting to get dark now. We should head back to the campsite. Jake nodded. I cast one last glance at the trees behind me before following him.
Don't
I
just
was
tip its hat.
relieved when we reached the campsite again, and immediately got to work starting a small fire. Well, the smoke and flames would at least keep some of the bugs away. As we ate dinner around the fire, I couldn't help but think about the strange shadow I had seen standing between the trees.
That potato looked good though.
The more I thought about it,
Yeah, the
the
potato.
less likely it seemed that I had merely
Potato,
imagined
potato,
it.
tomato, tomato.
Did that mean we weren't alone
It just looked like
here?
it don't got no
It
seasoning
wasn't weird
on
for
it.
other
But
hikers or campers to be out, but
what
why
do you
hadn't they said
mean?
anything?
You have our attention.
Are you sure you're okay,
We're not
Alex?
paying
You've been
attention to
distracted
you
since we
because you
got out.
didn't notice it either.
I didn't want to scare my brother,
I'm
so
watching
I
the
decided
actual
not to tell him
video.
what I'd
I'm
seen.
sorry.
Yeah, just a little tired. Yeah, me too, he said, stretching out his arms. Once the fire dies out, I think I'm going to head to sleep. Jake retired first, heading into the tent after bidding me goodnight. Despite my trepidation, I stayed out a little longer, listening to the birds and bugs scuttling through the undergrowth.
The birds and the
I was about to
bees.
follow my brother when, in the dying light of the fire, I thought I glimpsed something moving through the trees on my left.
Bum, bum, bum,
I
bum.
hastily scrambled for my flashlight and clicked it on,
Hi,
directing the
Dr.
beam
Phil.
into the darkness. Nothing. Maybe I was being paranoid, but the strange chill on my neck told me that maybe I wasn't.
Maybe
There
I
really
wasn't.
was someone out there. I waited for another 10 minutes, shining my light through the trees until the fire died
Oh my
out.
Thank you
god,
for all
that's
the
what
bonk,
my
Dr. Phil.
internet has been so
Sleep.
bad today. It's raining
I felt consumed
outside.
with the tent I was staring at.
Dang,
The
rain
zip
affects your
closed.
internet.
After a moment, I decided to tie the zipper to the strap of one of our packs, so that if anyone
Okay, I
tried to
really
open
want
it from the
some food
outside, it
now.
would be more difficult and make more noise.
Do you need
Then
to
I
order
crawled
some?
into my sleeping bag beside my
Maybe.
snoring brother and fell asleep.
I would prefer to wait for the
I
weekend
awoke
though,
the
where I
next
can
morning
get a
to
bunch
Jake
of food.
violently shaking my
True.
shoulder. I gave a start, blinking the grogginess out of my eyes as I asked him what was wrong. "You need to come and see this," he gasped, fear
It's
twisting
the
his face.
biggest shit I ever took.
The panic in his voice was
Also, that's what brothers would really do.
enough to sober me up, and I scrambled after him out of the tent into the clearing.
Mm-mm.
Sprawled out, right in the middle of our campsite, where the cold remains of the fire lay, was a dead crow. It had been badly mutilated, its wings torn and its body slashed
Aw.
open. Blood soaked the ground around it,
Damn.
and someone had smeared blood on the outside of our tent, too, in
Someone didn't like
swaths
that.
of long fingerprints that almost looked too big to be human.
Bitch, it's
Oh my
time
God.
to
I
go.
whispered, my mind
Damn
going
it.
back to the shadowy figure I had seen standing between the trees. We hadn't been alone last night after all. I turned to Jake, my mouth going dry. "I think it's time we get out of here," I said. This time, Jake didn't argue.
So that horror story was just about the crow? I mean, couldn't that have been like a bear or something?
I have no idea. I mean, those handprints didn't look like a bear, did it?
I mean, I don't know. It could have been. Whatever you say, Master.
It was windy outside as the rain
Yeah.
happened. Ryan, my boyfriend, was out for yet another party, and I was once again left alone at home, watching the rain
No.
slash against the windows. Unlike Ryan, I was more of an introvert and didn't enjoy much socializing.
Because that
Hence,
bonk is
most
for
of
you,
the
Mari.
times I
Exactly,
preferred
that
staying
bonk was
home.
for Mari.
I know
Why
it
am I
shouldn't
getting
have,
boxed?
but I was on my phone
Because you
the
are streaming
entire
with
night.
me, and you made
I'd
me
been
wear a
afraid for
collar.
the past couple of days that Ryan was cheating
So?
on me with this girl he'd met at work,
You
but
bottom.
I refuse to believe it, considering
You're
we've been
such a
dating for
good
almost
girl, you know
5
that?
years now. Surely he wouldn't choose to cheat, knowing our history, as violent as it may have been. For the 100th time, I decided to check my phone. The bright flash of a notification beamed outwards from it, and I was now staring at a message I had just received from Ryan's friend, Mike. The text audibly pierced into me as my lip trembled in a furious temper.
Tremble.
"Hi, Amy. Hope you're having a lovely night, but I wanted to let you know that I think Ryan's cheating. Yeah, so
Oh,
I've been
hell
seeing him walk
nah.
around with this brunette
Damn.
all night, hand around her waist and everything. And hey, if you come down, please don't tell him I told you. I'm still his friend, but it just didn't seem fair to you that you didn't know.
I
See you soon,
mean,
Amy."
Fucking gas.
My eyelids
that's a
Asshole.
good friend, though. A good friend telling like the partner that their friend is being a dick. That's a good friend to all of them.
fluttered in disbelief.
Just because they're friends with someone doesn't mean you can't like, you know.
Snitch on that motherfucker. Snitch.
Yeah.
How could he? I screamed
Thank you for the
aloud. Am I
head
not
patch,
enough
Draco.
for him? How long has this been going on? How dare he keep this from me? I had reached a peak
Ooh.
in my
Alright, go back a week
animosity,
now,
and I was
Dr.
ready to
Filthy.
Rip
Wow.
his throat out then and there, if only the
Rip
option was
Fucking
available.
throw it out. Rip his
Instead,
fucking
I
throw it
dashed
out.
out of the house, slamming the door shut behind me, and
Aw.
began sprinting down the stairwell and out of
That's
the
why she's wearing a sports bra.
Ryan had told me that the party was being held at a
That
friend's
bitch
place
run
a couple
after
blocks
people.
down the road. It wasn't a very accurate location,
Wait,
but it was
hold
enough to
on.
point me in the right.
If they're together, why didn't you go to the party with them? Like,
Maybe
just-
she don't want to a party.
Oh, I understand that, but like, once again, like if my partner was going to a party, I would at least go along. I mean, there's free fucking food.
Nah, I'm not going unless I feel like going. You can go to the party if you want to, but if I genuinely don't feel like going, I'm gonna let you go and have your fun. Because if not, I'm just gonna make sure you know I hate it.
But if it was a hike, wait, you were
Oh,
just
that's
giving. Wait! You were just giving the guy. No, never mind. Never
Right
mind.
direction at the very least.
look.
Once I had
He
reached
still
the
And the
decided
first,
to go.
and the
Look at
first
me.
story, you were giving him shit because he's like, well, if you don't want to go, why'd you go? It's like, well, because like sometimes you want to support your partner.
But why
my
do
block,
that
it had
and then
suddenly
go
occurred to
and
me
just
that my
drag their mood down the
socks
whole
were
time?
drenched in the rainwater,
I don't know.
and the gravel below had
Exactly.
torn up the soles.
You
Wait,
can't
wait,
argue
wait.
with me.
She left her
It was
house without
unbearable,
putting
but
shoes on.
I prioritized my emotions.
I understand
first.
being mad, but
And
like,
then a
put
car
shoes
pulled
on
up
first.
beside me. Hey, are you Ryan's girlfriend? The voice came from the driver.
Are you
Not for
the
long.
girlfriend?
Why? I said.
Damn, I gotta be mean.
Ah, perfect. I was going to drop a load of food off at the party he's at now. The guy called Mike put in the instructions for me to pick up his friend Ryan's girlfriend on the way there if I saw her. I
What?
was momentarily alarmed
What?
that he had found me so easily, but the story matched up with what Mike had told
Instead
me,
of
so
table,
I
it's Mari's
carefully
head.
scampered inside the bag.
Why are you guys beating
It was
me?
filled with tons of Deliveroo bags, and the smell was utterly fantastical. I had forgotten to
Utterly
eat dinner that night, so I was hoping
fantastical.
to maybe have some once we got there. That would give me all the energy I needed to go and confront that piece of shit trotting around with Bimbo.
Fucking asshole.
Bimbo.
Oh God, are you in socks?
That bitch on the third floor.
He must have noticed them when I got in. Yeah, I just found out Ryan's been cheating. I
Wait,
completely forgot to put
wait.
shoes on when I rushed out.
He's doing a food delivery, but he has like that kind of a truck. That's kind of weird. Isn't that like a?
Look at how big the order is.
I guess it's true.
He bore an expression of artificial shock.
Where's all the food?
Oh God, I'm so sorry. You still want to go there? I stared at him intently and growled, yes.
No.
Growl.
Let's not do that. Don't growl at me like that.
Growl.
You know, Ryan and I have been together for 5 years now. And then he goes and throws it all away for some random girl? It's ridiculous.
That's
The driver nodded,
insane.
but said nothing. He merely acknowledged it.
He got nothing to do with the
I
shit.
sat
No
back,
shit.
feeling irritated that he couldn't see how revolting Ryan was for doing such a thing, until I realized we had arrived at the place.
Oh my god. All these 6-second ads.
We're here. You get out. I've got to take care of some more deliveries first.
Wait, what?
Considering he had said he was delivering here, it made no sense why he would suddenly go and deliver somewhere else.
But you're going to
first.
get out anyways and kill yourself,
that's
aren't
Oh,
you?
hell no.
I was here, and Ryan would pay for his
It's
sin.
the way to go. This is why you need an
He's
ad
here.
blocker. He
The
refuses to
driver
get
announced
one.
loudly as I stepped out of the car. I turned back as if to smack him for alerting people of my presence. I wanted to catch Ryan red-handed. The door of the house was open. I assumed that Mike must have left it open for me. As I tiptoed inside the house, I saw Mike sitting calmly on the sofa. Oh, great, here you are. Where's Ryan? I asked him. Mike smiled
Where is
and
he?
pointed towards the other direction.
Nah,
And in walked
bitch.
Ryan with the brunette. Amy.
For
Fucking
bonking
asshole.
Rari.
He too.
You're gonna get
had
your
a
ass
smile
beat.
on his face. This
You
left
say
me
so,
confused
Draco.
as well as disgusted. How could I love him? This man who had no shame even after being caught. I came to talk to you. Mike told me that you're cheating on me with this bimbo. Ryan's face turned red with anger. That's a lie, he shouted. Is it? Because it sure looks like you're having a good time with her. I said.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm Angelica. Yes, the bimbo.
Bitch.
That's what Amy called me. And no,
Bitch, it's
that's
time
not
to
the reason
fight.
I slapped the shit out
It's
of
time to
her.
fight. It's time to fight. Bitch, it's time to fight. Mm-mm.
You see, we're a team. Me, Mike, and Ryan. We like you. Yes, the
Huh?
hopeless romantic inside you. We spot it and bring it out. Don't take us wrong, we treat you like prince and princess. I mean, I can speak for myself. If you date me, I will do whatever you
Where's the camping part of this story?
tell me to. Yeah, you heard that right. As for Mike and Ryan, they'll take you to the best of the places and shower you with gifts. You like to spoil them, Mike, don't you? But then, once we're done with you, we won't dump you the traditional way. You know, life is short, and even breakups must be exciting. Something that gives adrenaline rush. We will torture you, cut you, tear you apart.
It's not the kind of torture I was hoping for.
Very,
Oh, I know.
very slow. And make sure you're awake to witness all this. After all, you are the sole audience. Once we're done, we move. There's so much love to give and so little time. But you don't worry. Love is soon gonna knock on your door.
So wait. Did Ryan play the 5-year long game just to do a that's a weird game.
I don't know.
It's a weird long ploy.
These superheroes act like you're
You get that block.
A couple of years ago, when I was in college, something scary happened to me as I was playing video games. Many nights, if I didn't have homework, or even if I did have homework for that matter, I would play video games in my room. I lived
It's so scary. It's almost like I lived this life.
in a small house with one other roommate that we rented together. The house was older and somewhat
Yeah, I know.
run
Tell us
down.
why. Why would you
There were
take
2
5
bedrooms
years?
and a bathroom upstairs, and a living room and kitchen downstairs. That was basically it. I met my roommate Kevin in the dorms the previous year. We lived across the hall from each other and also had a couple of classes together. We became pretty good friends, and it worked out well for us to rent the house together. I remember that semester we also had a class together as well. But other than that, our schedules were a little bit different. We would be gone at different times of the day sometimes, and with school, it could get pretty busy. One night, after a long day of classes and homework, I decided to unwind and play some Call of Duty.
Draco,
The time was probably about 9 p.m. or so, and it was dark outside.
thank you for
I had been locked
lurking.
away in my room for at least the past 3 hours, trying to get an assignment done, and thankfully I had been able to finish it. I put on my headset and started gaming. I played a few rounds, and I remember that between a round, I thought I heard a banging on my door. My headset didn't allow me to hear very well because it covered my ears entirely, and when I was playing, there was no chance I was hearing anything. So now, after hearing someone banging on my bedroom door, I assumed it was Kevin. I took off my headset to hear the tail end of it before it stopped.
What do you say?
Reading a chat, Paris said I had homework. Truly horrifying.
I know, right?
I told Kevin to come in, but he didn't. He didn't even answer me. After a few seconds, I got up from my chair and walked over to the door. When I opened it, I did not see Kevin out in the hallway. No one was there.
Yeah, you just
I
let
walked
it
over to
ghost in
Kevin's
your
room,
room.
still thinking that it was him who had knocked, because who else would it be? I then knocked on his door, which was closed, but he didn't answer me. I thought about just walking into his room, but decided not to. Maybe he had gone
I would have
downstairs.
just did a quick peek.
I then walked downstairs and checked all around the house, but Kevin wasn't there. I figured he must be in his room, and I went back into my bedroom. I sat back down at my chair to continue gaming. I played Call of Duty for the next probably 30 minutes or so.
Oh my
I
goodness.
was right in the middle of a round when, for some reason, I thought I saw something out of the corner of my eye.
The ghost.
My TV and
You know
gaming
why?
chair that I was
You
sitting
let
in
the
was at the
ghost
right corner of
in
my
your
room,
room.
and directly to
Twist
the
his
left
cat
on the
plate
other side
knock
was the
sound
bedroom
alert.
door. It seemed to be moving. Of course, I couldn't hear anything due to my
Got it
headset
like your
being on.
bathroom door.
I looked over and saw my bedroom door slowly open.
Oh!
It was extremely slow and deliberate, and it really
Think
creeped
your-
me out.
Doesn't your bathroom
Outside
door
of
do
my
that,
room,
Mari?
It was dark because all the
Yes,
lights
it
were off.
does.
We often kept the lights off to save on the
Creepy.
electricity bill. I could barely see part of
Well, guys, we're about to find out what happens to Mari.
someone for just a second before they moved away. My door was now open like 3 or 4 inches, and it had been completely closed before. I got the
Yep.
chills from seeing this. I was
My
hoping
door
that it was
does
Kevin
just
though. But I just had a bad feeling, like it wasn't him. for
Mari's
some
living
reason.
this IRL, guys. You
I
ready?
picked up my phone and sent Kevin a Snapchat asking him if he was home. He responded pretty quickly, saying no, he was at the school gym working out. My creeped out feeling got 10 times worse. Somebody was in our house, and I didn't know who or why.
It's my cat.
My mind started racing, and I was afraid the person inside might be dangerous. I couldn't bring myself to leave my room. It seemed like a big risk to me. I had no kind of weapons or anything. I told Kevin about the situation, and he said that I should leave if I can. But I was on the second
You know
floor,
what my
so that would
weapon
be
is?
difficult.
You know what my weapon is?
After several minutes of
These
sitting in my
fists.
chair and thinking of what to do,
What?
I got up and carefully closed my door
These
again.
fists.
It was then that I thought I
Oh.
heard the sound of
Go
somebody
and give him
walking around
biscuits.
downstairs
Go make
in
some
our
biscuits
house.
on the ghost.
Whoever was there was now in the kitchen
Wow.
area. I walked back over to my chair and sat
I
down.
have really big
To be
hands.
honest with you,
Okay.
the thought of calling the police did not pop into my head at that time. I couldn't tell you why, but it just didn't, as dumb as that may sound. I was just focused on somehow trying
Yeah.
to get
You
out
know
of there.
why? You know
I
why?
considered trying
Why?
to jump from my window or something, but I knew that wouldn't work. For probably 20 minutes or so, I was inside my bedroom, just hoping that the person wouldn't come back. Finally, I got up and walked over to the door. I stood there listening to hear the person walking around downstairs like before or something. But I didn't. I couldn't hear anything. Things were now completely silent. I stayed there for probably 10 minutes listening. When I didn't hear anything the entire time, I decided that I was going to run for it. I opened the door.
Here's my thing. This is supposed to be a college kid. I can tell you right now, if this is a college kid at home, alone, playing video games, he knows his roommate's not down there, he's kicking down that door with a baseball bat, probably in boxers, being like, what the fuck's going on? College
I feel
guys
like he
do
would've
not
just
have...
ignored it and went back to
Yeah,
playing his
college
game.
guys do not have this sense of like, oh, someone's down there, I'm going to be scared. They're going to kick the door down and be like, who the fuck is in my house? Stay away from my Oreos. Or liquor, whatever you're, like, depending on what kind of college guy
I'm
you are.
getting a phone call. Give me just a moment.
Okay. Oh my god, it's IRL Mari? Exactly. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Uh, Me after losing 10 ranked games. Who's touching my shit in ramen packs down there? Exactly. No one touched my fucking ramen. You touching my ramen, you're dead, motherfucker. See, that's the other thing too. I was like I said, I'm doing this purely as like a college guy who's renting a house with another dude. Most likely, if you're sharing a house with another loose friend, a stranger in college, all your valuables are going to be in your room. Like his console, his backpack, his kit, like all your valuables, for the most part, are in your room. So what really is that guy going to be taking? That's why you kick it down with a fucking baseball bat. Be like, what the fuck's going on?
Okay, I'm back.
I'm not even in college. Most of my valuables are in my room. If someone breaks into my house, they're going to have to deal with my cat. Also, I just heard a weird ass noise. Hold on. I'll be right back as well.
Oh, okay. What's up, chats? Hello. Don't touch my shin ramen packs down here. This is why you stay strapped or get clapped. Oh my. You guys are aggressive. No, I completely understand you though, especially with ramen packs being down there. Who are you to touch my fucking ramen? Ghost doesn't even pay fucking rent. Oh, the rain is raining. It's pouring. It's raining. It's pouring. Can you guys hear me? I hope so. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I read that like in that Ariana Grande voice. Yeah, not Jay talking about some "Don't touch my nuggies." Fuck your nuggies. They're my nuggies. I'm actually getting some nuggies right now. I just have to wait for it to get here. I need to stop ordering food. They charge so much for it now. What more can I say? I be hungry. Not the dino nuggies, bro. No, they're my dino nuggies. Give me them. Gimme, gimme. Dooba 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 dooba. Dooba dooba dooba. Agent P. And that should still work. Back off. Back off. You don't want to share your dino nuggies with me? I just want a little bit. Just a little bit. I promise I won't take all of them. It says here that my food should be getting here at 8:50. That gives them 10 minutes, 11 minutes to get here. Now watch me never get it. Protect the dino nuggies. Can I have 4 chicken nuggets, Paris? That's what the last nugget thief said to me. You don't believe me? Okay, what if I get to have 5 dino nuggies, right? And you get to get a kiss on the cheek. I think that's a pretty fair trade. Just give me 5 nuggies. That's it. That's all I ask is 5 nuggies. Toasty! Move, I'm trying to get my nuggies. Stay away from Paris's nuggies. Why? I only take 4, promise. Don't trust Draco. Don't trust him. Don't trust him. You have to give me 5 dino nuggies, okay? Like I said, I think it's a pretty fair exchange. So, Paris, what do you say? Good point. What do I get for protecting these dino nuggies? Oh, goodness. Ringo, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
You're fine.
Okay, I think sit up here. Okay.
Come
Sorry.
on, Paris. I think it's a pretty good deal. I think it's a
Door
pretty
and
good
ran
deal.
downstairs without looking back. When I got downstairs, I went for the front door. I didn't see anybody inside the entire time. And then, after leaving the house, ran for my car and got inside. After locking my car doors, I finally felt safe. Not more than a minute later, though, Kevin pulled up behind me. We didn't have a driveway and would park on the street. He got out of his car and started to walk inside the house, and I got out of my car and told him that the guy might still be in there. But with Kevin now here, I wasn't as scared as I was before because I wasn't alone. I decided to go inside the house with him. When we both opened the door, we yelled whoever was inside needed to leave. If we heard a noise, we would both be able to run back for our
Ringo,
cars.
I'm gonna have to cut
But
a
there was
bitch
just
for you.
silence.
Who do you gotta cut for me,
Slowly,
Dr. Phil?
one by
Who you gotta
one,
cut?
we turned
What's
on
going
each
on?
light in the house and searched every room. The place was not very big, so it didn't take too long.
Is it because I offered
Soon, we
Paris
found
a
that
kiss
whoever
on
had
the
been
cheek if
inside
I
was
get to have
gone.
some dino nuggies?
Nobody was in
Oh,
there.
I don't know, maybe.
I never found out who it was, and I don't think they ever came back. Nothing was stolen either, possibly because we were two broke college guys who didn't have anything worth stealing. I think the guy was already gone when I ran out of my room also.
Do I get hot
How he got
chocolate if I
inside was
protect
pretty
dino
easy.
nuggies?
It was most likely because Kevin and I were always coming and going from the house and rarely bothered to lock the doors. Obviously, that changed after this experience.
There's nothing more powerful than
No!
When I was a kid, my best friend's name was Kenneth, but everyone
Out of
called him Kenny.
kindness, I'll share.
We're still friends to this
Yay!
day. Not as close as before, but we still hang out occasionally. At around the age of 12, our favorite thing to do was hang out at each other's houses and play video games. We played many different kinds, from racing to sports or whatever. He had an Xbox at his house, and I had a PlayStation at mine.
But I'm
One
trying to
day,
think
I
of
went
what
over
they
to Kenny's
look like.
to hang out.
I just...
He had an older
Oh,
sister, but
Yeah,
I
I know,
remember
right?
he was gone at one of her friend's
the
houses
one
at
with
the
the
time.
orange hair.
Kenny's house
Looks
was one
like
level,
Glenn
and his bedroom
from Chucky.
Ah, okay. I can see that.
was at the far back end and faced the backyard. I remember that we started playing video games in Kenny's room early in the evening. His parents then left shortly after, I think to go out to dinner, but I can't remember for sure if that was it. Anyways, Kenny and I would be left home alone, which wasn't that big of a deal because we weren't too young. Kenny knew how to make a frozen pizza, which is what we were planning on making later. In the middle of playing
Frozen
video
pizza,
games,
hell yeah.
probably about 15 minutes or so after Kenny's parents left, there was a knocking on the front door. Kenny's neighborhood was fairly quiet, and not in the city or anything, so it was sort of unusual to get people knocking on the door. I only lived a few miles away from Kenny in the same general area, so I knew it was a little bit strange. Plus, looking back, it was probably a little after 7 p.m., and the sun was setting. This meant it was probably not a salesman or something like that. We
You would
paused the
think.
game and were curious as to who it was. Kenny and I left his bedroom and walked through the house to the front door. We looked out and saw a man standing there on the front step. He was wearing a t-shirt and blue jeans, and he then knocked on the door
Sorry.
again. He didn't look very professional or anything.
He looks pissed.
To me, it looked like maybe it was one of Kenny's
They
neighbors.
made him mad.
I asked him if it was one of his neighbors, and he said no. To my surprise, Kenny then opened up the door and answered it for the guy. I personally would not have done that, and I didn't think that he would either.
Parents not to-
After opening up the door, the man said hi to Kenny and told him that his parents were expecting him. Kenny said that his parents were gone and left a while ago.
Oh, you
The man then
dumbass.
asked Kenny if he could come inside and wait for them until they got back. He said
No.
that they knew he was
Hell no.
coming and everything. Kenny said no to this and then started to close the door. The guy then asked when his parents would be back, and Kenny just said that he wasn't sure. Then he closed the door. After closing
I
it
would've said
and
they're
locking
on their
it, we
way
watched,
right now.
and soon the man finally began walking away. Then, Kenny and I went back to keep playing video games. I was sitting on the floor to the right of the TV and
I mean, I don't mean to be that guy, but they're playing a multiplayer. Like they're playing multiplayer. That's definitely a
Oh
single player
my
racing game.
god.
Kenny's room, and he was sitting on the floor to the left.
It breaks my immersion.
There was a window sort of behind his TV, which I had a better angle of seeing out. Maybe 10 minutes after we had resumed gaming, I was sure that I
no.
saw the man walk past out the window.
Oh, fuck
Obviously,
that
I
shit.
only
I'm
saw him
out.
for like a second, but his
Fuck
scene in the
this
shit, I'm
backyard was
out.
really weird. I paused the game, and Kenny asked me what I was doing. I asked him if he saw the guy out the window, and I told him
How
that
do
I
you
had
not
seen him
see
walking
him?
past.
How did you not see
Kenny
him?
hadn't, though, but he believed me. We both went over to the window and looked out.
Kenny
We couldn't
blind
really
as
see
hell.
anything, though. There were trees and bushes, and we didn't have a good view of the whole backyard.
How about we
Plus,
call
it
the
was dark out.
parents?
We started talking to each other, wondering who that guy even was. He seemed pretty sketchy. Kenny then called his parents and asked if they were expecting the guy. His parents were not expecting anybody, and they said that they were now coming home. We were both really creeped out and made sure that every door was locked and every window was shut. Then we turned on every single light in the house. We didn't see or hear anything more from the guy, and Kenny's parents got home a short time later. They looked around the property a little bit, but didn't see the man. I remember that my mom came and picked me up not too long after that. I couldn't stop thinking about how we potentially avoided a very dangerous situation. Kenny should have never opened the door to that guy, and we're lucky that he
No
didn't
shit.
force his way in. What his intentions were, I have no clue, and then walking in the backyard was very suspicious as well. Most likely, he was looking for a way to break in, and luckily, he didn't.
Dumbasses. You dumbasses.
Exactly.
This is something that happened a long time ago, back when I was a kid. I think I was probably like 7 or 8, and it was sometime in the early 2000s. Back then,
I love this
we would
voice.
sometimes have family gatherings at one of my aunt's house. I had several aunts and uncles who lived in the area, and I had a few cousins as well. This aunt in particular probably had the biggest house that was also in a good location, and there was a decent amount of land on her property too. Still, we wouldn't go to her place for all get-togethers, just some of them. I don't even know the occasions of them because I don't remember ever being there for a holiday. I really liked to go to her house though, because there were all kinds of fun things to do. She had a really big yard and a couple of four-wheelers. There was also a volleyball court on her property, and inside of the house, she had big TVs upstairs and in the
rich.
basement, and had a GameCube. I would play the
GameCube, all
with my
damn.
cousins a lot, and some
Fuck
people would
yeah.
watch movies as well.
I feel like
Oh,
even when I get
damn.
to church, I'm not getting a big house.
I hope that has a DVD player.
During that time as a kid, obviously I loved video games, but we didn't actually have any yet at my house. So one time, my parents, brother, and I went to my aunt's house. Several other family members were there also. A couple of my cousins, aunts, and uncles. I don't remember a whole lot of what we did earlier in the day. I do remember, though, that we had food upstairs, and afterwards we were going to watch a movie on the large TV upstairs. Unfortunately for me, it was a movie that I had recently seen at a friend's house. I'm pretty sure it was The Scorpion King, and it had recently come out on DVD. I liked the movie, but I was more in the mood to play video
Man,
games.
that was a bomb back in the
We were
day.
all sitting on the couches and chairs that were upstairs in the living room. Some kids like me were even sitting on the floor. Shortly after the movie started, I kind of had to use the bathroom, and I decided to go downstairs and use the one in the basement because it was more private. As I was downstairs, I couldn't help myself, and I walked over to the basement living room where the GameCube was. Nobody else was down there, and I decided to just play some GameCube. I was sure
Hell
that nobody
yeah.
would mind. I
Might
sat
as
down
well.
on this weird gaming chair that they had, pretty close to the TV. Then I turned on the GameCube and TV and put in a Mario game. The basement living room was at the bottom of the stairs and to the left. Inside, there were 2 large couches and a couple of other chairs facing the TV. To the left of the TV, there was a sliding glass door that opened up to the backyard. All of the lights downstairs were also off. Things were only lit up a little bit by the TV screen. I could hear the sound coming from the TV upstairs from them watching the movie, and I kept the volume low on the TV that I was using. Soon, I was
Yep,
playing
so we
on
don't
the
need nobody
GameCube
coming
and
down
having the
talking
time
about,
of
"Can
my
I
life.
play?"
This only lasted
Exactly.
for probably about 15 minutes though. I remember thinking that I heard a noise coming from outside. I looked over but saw nothing and assumed it was my aunt or another family member outside for some reason. After that, I kept playing on the GameCube, but only about a minute
That
later,
game's not even
I heard
released
more
yet.
noise, and then heard the sliding glass door opening. I looked over, expecting to see a family member, but instead, I saw some random
think they
guy
just
entering the house.
random.
The sliding door hadn't even been locked. I don't remember much about how the man looked or what he was wearing, just that he had kind of long hair. He was still kind of far away from me, and after seeing the guy, I
Looks like
instantly
a
got up
Valheim
and
character.
ran for the
Think for the
stairs.
screamer.
I went all the way up, and everybody saw me come running into the living room. Someone jokingly asked me what I was in a hurry for. I said to everyone how a man had just entered the basement from the sliding door. At first, it wasn't taken very serious. People thought that I must have seen a family member that I didn't recognize, or possibly a neighbor who would come over a lot. But after some talking, I remember
Why
that
would
the
they be
movie was
coming in
paused, and a couple of
fucking
people ended up going downstairs to check it
basement?
out. The rest of the night is kind of blurry to me in my memory. I just know that after coming back upstairs, most of us had to go into the 2 bedrooms that were upstairs, and the police were called. We had to wait for them in the bedrooms, and I know that the man was gone when the police got there, but I'm not sure if he had left before the basement was investigated or after. I'm also not sure if he stole or damaged anything. I didn't go back down in the basement that night at all, but eventually the police left and we were able to finish the movie. This remains probably the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me.
The movie you already missed half of.
A few years ago, I played a lot of video
I was
games.
gonna say that.
I've always kind
But
of
he
been
was
on
only
and
down
off
there
with
for like
gaming.
15 minutes.
I'll play quite a bit for like a month or two, and then go a long time barely playing at all. Overall, I'm just not very consistent, and it just depends on how busy I am and stuff.
That's how I beat
This
with
was
games.
probably back in like 2018
Yeah.
or 19, and I was playing Fortnite a lot, as well as some other games. I played on a PlayStation 4, and sometimes would play with friends online. However, most of my PlayStation
Hey, he
friends were
got some
random
cool
people
looking
who I had
hair.
played with in the past, and they sent
He
me
does,
a friend
he does.
request or something. I didn't actually know them in real life. One time, when I logged onto my PlayStation, I had another friend request. I had no idea who it actually was, and I don't even
Don't
remember the
accept random
username at
friend
all.
requests.
But I did what
Don't
I
do
always
it.
did.
Hey,
I said
Smitty Mac.
Then I started playing. Maybe like 30 minutes later, I got a request to join a game on Fortnite. It was from the person who I had just accepted the friend request from earlier. I accepted the
Why are
request to
y'all
join them in
accepting
the game
random friend
because I
requests?
figured, why not? When we started
Keyword
playing,
is
I saw that the
friend.
other person had a microphone, but they weren't saying anything. I had one as well, and I asked some general questions about the game because we were playing duos. If you don't know, that means we were on the same team. My questions went unanswered though. I figured that either their headset was not on their head, or maybe it was broken. That was not all that uncommon. I stopped talking to them after it was apparent that they weren't going to talk to me. I still didn't know who it was though, and I assumed that it was just a random person that I must have played with some time before. We played a round and lost fairly quickly. Then we decided to play another. This time, maybe 5 minutes into the new round,
No,
the person finally
please.
spoke. It was a man's voice, which was extremely deep. I think they might have even been
Ooh.
using some kind of voice changer.
Oh
The voice
man.
sounded very creepy. The guy said my real name immediately, which got my attention.
Oh,
It was followed by a
hell no.
crazy sounding rant that started out
Yeah.
absurd and then got threatening. I don't even remember any of the specific things because it was so crazy. After he paused,
I
he
would've just
started talking
left
again and said something like,
and
"If you don't
blocked
think
them.
I'm serious, I know much more than just your name." I was already very creeped out. The guy then
Hey,
said
this
the
guy's
city
not
that I
fucking
lived
me.
in and the
That is
state,
weird.
and this was enough for me. I hit the power button to my PlayStation and it turned off. Then I went so far as to unplug it from the wall. My heart was racing and I was now sweating. I wondered who that person was and what had just happened.
Sorry.
Eventually,
You're
after about
fine,
10
Lex,
minutes or
you're
so,
fine.
I composed myself.
I'm glad that you're
Turned my
back.
PlayStation back on and located the person from my friends list. I saw that he had sent me several messages now. I clicked on one, and it was more of the same stuff. I didn't want to read any of the rest. I reported and blocked him, and then got off of my
Good
PlayStation.
job.
After this, nothing else happened. No, he didn't show up at my house or call me on the phone or anything. At least not that I'm aware of. But this still
Oh,
creeped me
God.
out quite a bit. So much so that I didn't play any video games for a while after that. Years later, and I still wonder who it was. I've played many video games since, and nothing like this has ever happened. I don't know if it was a prank either, because nobody I know ever said anything about it, and I would think that they would have by now. Besides, my friends aren't really the type to do that. It remains a mystery to me.
Dang.
That's actually scary.
I think I got one more queued up.
Yeah.
I came to Japan to work as a nurse in a post-surgical unit. Patients come from hundreds of miles away to get their operations here. The surgeons are known to be the best. But what we don't tell the patients, what we're not supposed to tell them, is that this one is haunted. There have been more than a few events that have...
Here's my thing. Granted, I know this is Japan, so maybe it's a little bit different over there. But like in America, if you tell people like, "Oh yeah, this is a haunted hospital or a haunted
They're gonna
hotel,"
go to it.
people would more likely go there than not go there because it's haunted.
That's because we're dumb Americans.
Like that's like tourism for some people. Like literally, there's been like, especially in like the middle of nowhere, they'll be like, "Hey, our attraction is like 5 people died in this hotel and it's haunted now. You want to stay there? Okay, it's $100 a night," and people will do it.
My Brett's bullying my
have
spelling.
raised the hair on the back of my
Play
neck,
nice,
and
children,
some have
play
sent me
nice.
into hysterical screaming fits. There was that time a few months ago when a patient told me she saw a woman wearing a red kimono stand beside her bed and watch her all night. The patient didn't see her face, as her black hair covered it.
Really? Where did you see her?
Thank you for the bonk from Mari.
She was standing
No,
right
don't bonk me.
there.
The patient pointed at the curtains with a fearful face. I pulled back the curtains and showed her myself. All of the other beds were empty, and there was no visitors or staff in the room with her. As if that wasn't disturbing enough, a few weeks later, a different patient said the same
Guys,
thing,
welcome
but she
in. How
had
are
been
you
left alone in the
guys?
same room.
Did you see her face?
Oh my god, thank you
no.
for the follow.
I saw
What's
something
up, Coco?
else.
The patient was trembling like a timid rabbit.
What
Welcome
did you
in,
see?
everyone. How was the
Yeah.
stream?
Here, I'll let you think everybody real
Thank you,
quick.
thank you.
How's it going, Coco? How's it going, Coco?
Love.
How
Oh my
did
goodness.
you get your 6th gym? You were playing Pokemon Scarlet, weren't you? Keep an eye on that shit. I know what my friends play.
Oh my goodness, thank you for the follow. Thank you, Neko, thank you. We got Mommy voiced and Chunkla constantly by Coco. It was great.
Dang.
Oh my goodness, Coco. Thank you for the raid. I hope you guys had fun. Make sure you guys go drink some water, need some food, unlike me.
You sit here starving yourself for stream. I didn't get the 6th gym, was grinding my Pokemon too much. The chat wanted redeems from me. That makes sense. I was supposed to be playing Baldur's Gate, but I decided to do this, so.
There you go. You're welcome.
We decided to react
Yeah.
to animations. Horror animations.
And
Horror.
actually, I think my food is here, so I will be right back.
Hey! Food.
Entertain chat. Entertain chat. Thank you.
Wait, I gotta be entertaining? Fuck. Hi, chat. Still can't do that command for shout out. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, slash shout out and then Coco Rohana. I'm not a mod, so I can't do it. I'm also not the streamer, but yeah. I need to grind some more in that game too, Coco. I think I can get up to the 5th gym, but I gotta grind on that more. I'm not gonna lie, I've been distracted by IRL stuff and Baldur's Gate. But I'll be playing again here soon. Thank you for the head pats, Jarman. Thank you. Thank you for the head pats. Yeah, head pats. Nice.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, and it works.
Okay, I'm
There we go.
back. I have food.
What you munching on?
I have Popeyes. I got some chicken nuggets and some mac and cheese.
Wait. You went to Popeyes and got chicken nuggets?
Yes. And mac and cheese. Can't forget the mac and cheese.
Okay.
Okay, Draco.
touching the ceiling. Her neck stretched up so high, almost like a snake.
Now that made my skin crawl a bit. I looked at the watch.
Hello, Count.
It was
Welcome in,
2:30 in the
welcome
morning,
in.
and I was already tired from pulling a night shift back to back in a row. I gave the patient some medicines to help her
Hello, what's
sleep.
up, Count?
Once she fell asleep, I decided
We meet
Oh,
again.
thank you for the follow, Count.
to stay awake in that ward. The ward has 6 beds, and only one of them has a patient. Rests were neatly made, white beds waiting for their temporary owner. I picked up a magazine and sat on a chair. After 15 minutes, I could barely keep my eyes open. I knew it was against hospital rules, but I still laid down on the corner-side bed.
See, your voice is
It was
Peter
honestly
here
a
for
quick
some reason.
and much-needed nap.
No.
I don't recall the
thank you,
time when I
Cal.
heard running footsteps on the wooden floor. I got up
Wait,
thinking
is Ringo
someone was
even
come,
here?
but
Ringo
found
is
no
here.
one.
I am here. Yes, I'm here, and I'm also streaming. Do you see me?
Yeah, he should be tagged in my my
I'm
title.
I'm right here, Cal. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here with the good girl, Mari. Isn't
Shut
Mari
up.
such a good girl?
No.
If
Oh,
Mari
dear.
is a good girl, you all should give her bonks.
Bonk me.
Good girls get bonks. Hi,
no.
Count. I'm not doing too bad, Count. How are you doing?
Very true. No. I think I deserve head pats, not bonks.
Bonks are just an aggressive head pat. Isn't that right, guys?
The ward was empty like before.
I'm
The
sorry.
one patient was now snoring.
Hello? Is anyone here?
My senses sharpened once I
Bonk
heard a
the
woman's chuckling.
Mari. Bonk, bonk, bonk the Mari.
Oh
Fuck you,
no.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Bonk the Mari. Bonk, bonk,
Don't
bonk,
block
bonk
me.
the Mari. Bonk, 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 bonk the Mari.
I don't get points, so this is the best I can do. That's what you get because you kept bonking me earlier.
Like I had left it a few moments back. This proves that the chuckle took place inside this room.
Mrs. Tanaka?
No.
Are you sleepwalking again?
Okay, I got an ad on Mari stream that says I agreed with you. I'm sorry, Cal. I'm sorry for you.
Enough. So I switched
Dang.
to the flashlight on my phone. I saw a woman dressed in a red kimono standing right beside the door. She
Give
was
her a
far from
kiss.
me, so
Give her
I
a
couldn't see
kiss.
her face. But one thing I could tell was that she was staring at me with an ear-to-ear smile.
Adorable. I am not.
God.
A sudden call from my mom almost gave me a heart attack.
I
Hi,
thought my
Mom.
phone was buzzing.
Why
oh my
are
god.
you still awake? Coco, are you all right? I'm perfectly fine, but why are you asking me this in the middle of the night? I had a very bad dream. Where are you? I'm at the hospital, Mom. Where else would I be? It's my night shift.
I want to forget what I just seen.
Did
Can
you
we
say
eradicate
night
that
shift? Yeah.
What that mouth do, girl?
Why?
Mm.
Exactly,
I just
Dr.
saw
Phil.
you dozing off at your night shift and you were being watched by this strange woman. She wore this red kimono and was...
Before my mom could finish her sentence, the call got disconnected. The phone
Oh,
dropped
thank you,
Damn.
off from my
Alfred.
shivering hands. With a slow, erratic heartbeat, I turned around where I saw the creepy woman a few seconds back. But she was gone.
No.
Hello?
Nope,
What
she's still
do
there. She's
you
still there.
want?
My eyes
She's still
searched the
here.
entire room, but the woman was nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, my phone lit up once again. It was again my mom calling. I crouched down to pick up my
Mom.
phone, and accidentally my eyes went towards the patient's bed.
Oh
I could see
no.
a pair of red feet peeking under a red kimono. I jumped and looked above the bed.
People
There
never
was
seen
no
horror
one.
movies? I
What?
guess not.
Is this a nightmare?
I really guess
By
not.
now, I have started to lose my mind. I just saw a woman's feet under the bed, but when I looked up, there was no one standing beside the
the girl
patient's
pass
bed.
away?
Cause she's
I crouched
behind
down
you.
once again, and now again, I saw those bare feet. The nails on the big toes were missing, revealing the red,
Ew.
puffy flesh underneath. I froze
It's the most disgusting part of the whole entire video. Oh my god.
in that position. I was scared to look up when suddenly the feet started rotating to the back. A loud, horrifying sound of bones breaking took place with each movement of
Why
them.
is the man narrating
My
the
voice
girl?
died
I
down in
don't
my throat.
know.
I knew what the patient
I could probably answer that. A lot of these people on YouTube, when they do these, are either learning to animate or just animating for the fun of it. So they either have friends do the voice acting, they do it themselves, or a lot of people do it for free. I've actually done quite a few of these for free for people just to like boost your resume, and so they probably just hire one person to read them all just to get the video done.
Okay.
They just want like a narrator.
Hello, my husbando. How are you?
kept saying about this ward is true, and I might not probably make it out of this room alive tonight. Just when I was on the verge of crying, the woman's neck dropped and her head started to roll down on the floor. Like a snake, her long neck stretched to inhuman lengths and started coming at me.
That shit, I'm out.
I got up and started running towards the opposite side. I aimed for the door, but before I could get out, I tripped and fell. I laid on my back, knowing the laughter has come from a
Can you
close
hear me
distance.
eating?
I didn't want to
Mama,
turn
you
around,
laughed
but
at your
I knew
face.
I
You-
have to.
Never!
My
Because
hands-
it's not true!
That's all I need, girls. That mouth, wow, Dr. Phil. Damn.
Mm-mm.
Damn. I mean, true. True, Dr. Phil. My bad, true. You're right, true.
Alright, I'm leaving on my way to class. It started 10
Slowly
minutes.
arched back to
Have
catch a
fun, Titus,
glimpse,
have fun.
and the woman's head was touching the ceiling. Her mouth was open, and blood was dripping from it. Her swirled,
Fuck
twisted
that
neck
shit.
moved side to
Fuck
side like
that.
a bobbing
Fuck
spring.
this shit, I'm out.
I don't remember when I fainted. I naturally left that job at the hospital after my parents picked me up from the hospital. I was down
If
with a
it's not
fever.
true, then need an
My grandma
accident is
says
often
Japanese
not
people
true.
believe
No,
in this
you need it
urban
to live.
legend, which goes by the name
You don't need my voice to live.
Rokurokubi. They are said to be vengeful spirits roaming around at night. They love drinking their victims' blood, which made
Just call me. I'll get rid of those demons and spirits. You're gonna do it the way that first video we saw a while ago, Dr. Phil. You're gonna be doing some demon loving.
sense for her bleeding mouth. I don't know why she let me go or any other patient who stayed in that ward. There's still no
Ringo,
news of her
I know.
hurting anyone, but
I
guess
know.
she gets bored alone. Hence, decides to
So
play
you
with
agree
people for
with-
her
No, I did
entertainment.
not! What?
Whatever the reason may be, I'm never going near that hospital ever again.
Wait, there we go.
You guys can probably hear me eating, and I'm so sorry.
Let's call it ASMR.
A week ago, I had to move to Pittsburgh alone with my dad. My father had landed a job in the city, and so I had no choice but to come with him. I love him a lot since he has taken care of me after my mom died in a car crash when I was young, but moving to a new city during midterm is such a pain. It's not
Oh, that
easy for me to
sucks.
make friends in a new city, especially if you're a nerd.
That's the problem. It's
My
Pittsburgh.
grades got me admission into one of the
Damn.
top school of the city. It was a nice campus, but the kids there were anything but nice. On my first day
Pittsburgh kids
itself,
are not
I got
nice.
the worst scare of my
Oh,
life.
hi, Meadows.
I
Thank
had
you for
just
the
finished
alert.
class and went to the restroom, and when I went in, the door got locked from outside. I panicked and was trying to open it when the power went off, and I heard a loud,
hell
ghostly
no.
voice roaring from the other end.
I feel like a bathroom in a public place like that, like a school, shouldn't have locks on the outside. Just saying. I mean,
I feel like they shouldn't either, but they like to lock it and not let us in.
seems a little weird. Like there's locks
Yeah,
on the
growing
inside.
up, they would lock the restrooms and wouldn't let us go during certain times.
That's weird.
I tried to run when I hit my head against something and collapsed.
Dr.
The
Phil,
next
they also have
thing
the
I know
pirates.
was
They
that
got
I was
the
in locker room,
pirates.
surrounded by people, and the principal of the school. I got up
So you're
and they
competing
asked
with
me what had
Coco on who can
happened,
get people
why I
more heart
screamed
attacks
and
due to an
collapsed in the
overdose of
restroom.
cuteness?
I
I'm
told
not
them what had
cute.
happened.
Coco
No one
beats me in that
believed me.
department, okay?
They thought I had some kind of daydream and asked me to relax and went away. Moments after they
I
left,
swear,
2
I'm, like,
girls,
really
Karen
mean.
and Amelia, came up to me and told me
I'm
something
evil.
that shocked me. They told me about Charlie, a psychotic, faceless man who roams the town and abducts girls and kills them. I was terrified
Hell
to
no.
hear this, and that night at dinner I told my dad what had happened.
I think you two
Dad
are pretty
dismissed
tied.
it, saying
Absolutely
there's nothing
not.
like a faceless man. It's just some
Nope.
stupid urban legend and a bunch of lies. I couldn't sleep well that night. The creature's face kept coming into my mind. I came out to the balcony for some fresh air, and that is when I saw something horrifying. On the
A
street
homeless
in front of
man.
the house, I saw a man in a hooded jacket
Ringo,
walking
why are you
slowly
here?
in front of my house.
Hey,
Before he passed
that's
our
fine.
house, he stopped and looked up at me. I jumped in
What are
horror.
those
It was the
eyes?
same
I don't
faceless
know.
man, Amelia, and Karen.
Why do the weird abductors always have to be like a creepy dude? Why can't it be like a hot dude or like a hot woman? Like most serial killers IRL that have like been successful are really hot. Like people say like Ted Bundy was like super fucking attractive for the 70s.
Yeah,
saying.
Ted Bundy. Yeah.
Why is it never like a
Yeah.
super attractive dude being like, yeah?
I mean, there's Mr. Ghostface as always, but fuck,
That's just you who wants to be. No, actually, that's not just you. There's a lot of people who want to fuck Ghostface.
it's not
But
just me. We're a whole cult. Okay.
Karen had told me. I screamed in fear and ran inside. My dad came to me room and asked me what had
Hey
happened.
guys, I'm not
When I
you.
told him, he immediately
No,
went
why
to
you
the
do that?
balcony to check, but there was no one there.
Ghostface isn't real. You're wrong, Dr. Phil. Ghostface can be real. All you gotta do is put it on and imagine.
He took me to him room
You
and
see
made
the
me
people
sleep
I don't
next to
sleep
him.
at night?
I was
Oh, no.
shivering in fear. He consoled me and made me sleep.
Get some sleep.
The next day, when I went to school, I
send you
saw
cuddles.
Amelia
I
and
should help
quickly
you sleep.
rushed to her to tell her what had happened. But she was lost in thought. When I shook her back to reality, she looked at me and broke down.
Do I know
Hey,
who they
Amelia,
are from
what
League of
happened?
Legends? No, I
She
do
was
not.
breathing hard and told me.
Karen is missing. She went out last night and never came back.
I was shocked to hear this and was about to ask something when the cops arrived at our school and wanted to meet us and question us regarding Karen. We told them all that we knew. We told the cops about the faceless creature and they just laughed it off.
Good, Karen
saying
was
it
probably
just
a
an urban
bitch.
legend. After
True,
they
Dr. Phil.
left, I
True.
told
True,
her
doctor.
that I saw the faceless creature again in the night. Amelia had decided to go look
Does
for the
Ringo have a
creature.
voice
I
impression,
told her
Redeem?
that it was a bad idea, but she would not listen and left.
Ringo, do
Ended
you
the
have voice
stare
impression,
2
Redeem?
days. Wrinkled and
I do not.
scary.
Why do you
No,
want
I
a
think
voice
Ringo
impression?
does more different. I think Ringo just does
After
different
they
voices, not like impressions.
Yeah, I'm not really an impressionist yet. I've been working on it,
Okay.
but Coco's more the impressionist. I just do more commercial stuff. I'm working on impressions, but I don't have a lot. If you send me one, I can give you like, I can try. I don't know.
Left, I told her that I saw the faceless creature again
Karen
in
would
the
have grown
night.
up to be a Karen
Amelia had
anyways.
decided to go look for
Exactly.
the creature. I told her that it was a
Good
bad
job.
idea, but
Possibly,
she would not
Cal.
listen
Why?
and
What is it?
left. I was worried for Amelia, and in spite of being scared, decided to help her. We took our cycles, did not tell anybody where we were going, and rode to the edge of town. There was an abandoned tunnel. Amelia told me that the creature lived in this place. We kept our cycle outside and went into the tunnel.
That's Mari
I
right
was
now.
scared, but Amelia was determined
Oh,
to
is
find
that
her
Mari?
friend. As we went in, the place got darker and darker. Just when we were about to switch
Are you
on
wanting
the
me to
mobile
do
lights,
that?
we heard a scream.
Count? Is that what you're saying? You want me to do that, Count? Is that what you're trying to say? That voice? I don't even know what they
froze
sound
for a
like.
second. Amelia's eyes lit up. She
I can
told
do
me
some
that it was
voices, but I
Karen's
haven't done
voice.
this voices in
We
years.
ran inside, but the tunnel split into 2 paths. We did not know
I'd
where the
like to
sound
hear some
came
ghosty.
from, and we did not want to split and search either. We decided to take the path on
I'll
the
check it
right
out
and
later.
started walking inside. A little ahead.
I can't
we
check it
saw
out
a
right now, 'cause I'm
door,
literally have
but it
YouTube
was
pulled up right
locked.
now.
Amelia asked me to look for something.
I'll
to
look
break
into
the
it and try
door
Mari.
open. I was looking for something in the dark when the door.
If I can do it, I'll do it next
suddenly
stream,
opened.
Count.
I turned to look. There he was, Charlie. He had the ugliest face, completely wrinkled
Damn.
and scary. I screamed and
People wonder why
He's
people.
ugly.
People wonder why these guys kill people. And be like, oh man, this is the most ugliest person I've ever seen. And it's like, well, damn, if you're gonna be like that, yeah, I'm gonna kill your ass too. Call me ugly as
Like,
shit.
yeah,
Say I
ugly.
don't deserve to be here. God damn, fine.
I'll be honest
fear,
with your
he
normal
froze.
voice sounds
He
like
looked very
Vader.
angry and charged towards Amelia.
That's weird.
Amelia
I
was
always
trying to
hear that
fight back,
people tell
but
me
she
I
was
sound like
losing.
Roxy from
I had to do
FNAF.
something. I looked around and found an iron
evil,
rod.
stop
I
laughing!
took it and hit his head hard. He collapsed.
And now
So
those
your
little girls are
face-
murderers.
No.
Now the little kids are murderers. Way to go.
Industry-leading synthetic.
Fainted. We quickly went in to rescue Karen and called the cops and ran out. The cops came after some time, went into the tunnel and came back saying that there was no one inside. We were shocked to hear this. We had proved that the legend was true, but feared that Charlie was still out there and will be looking to take revenge on us. The cops asked us not to leave home for a few days, and that they'd put out a notice for Charlie, the faceless man. That night, when I was asleep, I heard the window of my room crack open. I looked and was shocked. It was Charlie. He was rushing towards me, saying, "I will kill you!" I jumped and screamed in fear and tried to rush out.
It's okay
He grabbed my hand and pulled me. I fell on the bed and yelled out to my dad for help. Just when the door opened and Dad came in with a shovel and hit Charlie in the head. We called the
Just
cops.
have a shovel on standby.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, hold on. I understand if you scream, your dad's going to hear you. Why do you just have a shovel on standby? Why is the shovel even in the fucking house?
Okay, look, I understand like having a bat by your bed, maybe.
Yeah,
but
bat.
that's about it.
Yeah, bat, crowbar,
Stop being so cute.
something.
Please, I feel bad. You should
Sam.
feel bad. It's
Who
called
came in and
manipulation
arrested
101.
Charlie. The town was finally free of that faceless psychopath. I didn't move
Charlie wanted to
beneath
be
the
friends with you
covers,
so bad.
excitement coursing through my veins. The house was silent, and
That
I
was a
knew
weird
that it was
cut.
time. I slowly descended the stairs, careful not to make any noise and tip off my parents. I clutched tightly to the railing,
Knife would have been better,
afraid of
yeah.
what I might find. I reached the bottom of the stairs, my heart pounding in my chest. I would finally catch Santa. This year,
Look
I'd
so
catch
happy.
him putting presents underneath the tree. I just had to wait till
He's
I
gotta
heard
be
him,
ready
and
to bury
then
them
I'd spring
afterwards.
out and catch
Care
him
to
in the act.
elaborate?
I waited,
Elaborate
the
on what?
silence around me growing louder with each second. Finally, however, I heard some noises from behind the corner. Excited, I sprang out from behind the corner. "I gotcha! But my voice trailed off. Standing near the Christmas tree was
Krampus!
something that horrified me. Something that wasn't Santa. It was a tall, dark figure with pointed
hell no. Why
horns
is
and a long
Krampus
whip.
here?
It turned towards me, its feet goat hooves and its face contorted into a sneer. "Hello, Ryan." I screamed and ran back upstairs, jumping in
I
bed
have
and
no idea
pulling the
what you're
covers over
talking
my
about,
head.
hun.
I stayed like that for
You
what
must-
felt like
that lack of
hours
sleep
until I
must really be
decided to
getting
get up
to you.
again. I crept back downstairs, my legs trembling as I went and peered around the corner. There was nothing there. I couldn't help but feel relieved. Maybe I had been dreaming and had never left my bed.
Ringo
The
would like
next
to have a
morning, I
word
had
with you
all but
about that.
forgotten about the mysterious creature that stood in front of the tree. It was Christmas, and I eagerly opened my presents. There was a bike, a few new games, and strangely enough, a strange-looking toy that resembled a fidget spinner. A few
that's
days
a melted
passed, and
fidget spinner.
I decided to keep the fidget spinner with me as I made my way to school, despite the strange looks my parents had given each other when I opened it. School passed uneventfully, and I began to make my way home. I walked home, talking to my friends as I did. I swear, it was the craziest dream I ever had. A monster in the house on Christmas? Come on, man. Yeah, you must have been dreaming. Have you ever heard of Krampus before? Krampus? What's that? It's some crazy anti-Santa urban legend. You must have seen it somewhere. We continued walking until I saw something out of the corner of my eye.
Manipulation
I stopped
claims.
and strained to look in the direction I had seen it, but whatever it was had already gone. Still, I felt chills run down my spine. Whatever I had seen looked like it had horns.
Just looking like
I
you're ready to
thought
take
it
a
looked
bite out that
awfully
ass.
similar to what I had seen on Christmas.
But
Maybe he was just tripping balls on drugs.
gotta take a bite out of that ass.
Yum.
So, what are these manipulation claims I'm hearing about?
I don't know. I keep trying to tell Count that his lack of sleep is really getting to him.
Who are you manipulating without me?
I'm manipulating anyone.
Suddenly, it began to snow incredibly
Be a
hard.
very
The
good
clouds
girl
were so
now.
thick that we couldn't see anything in the distance. We ran towards the closest gas station, desperate to get out of the snow. Come on, man, keep up! I shouted behind my shoulder as I ran. When I didn't hear a response, however, I turned around. My friend was gone, and the snow whirled around me harder. What's going on? I kept running, my heart thumping in my chest, until I finally reached the gas station. For a moment, I felt relieved. The sign said the employee would be back in an hour, so I had
Call her
to take
out.
shelter from the snow and help myself to
She's
some
a succubus.
snacks.
All she does is
I made
manipulate.
my
What are you
way to
talking
the
about?
racks
That's
of candy
literally
and
what they
snacks,
do.
almost too excited.
They
Free
manipulate you
candy
for your
me, I guess.
semen.
That
For
stupid
the
employee
food.
shouldn't have left the store
Anything
unattended.
about it. Just
I began to
nice
stuff
and
the
cute and
candy in my
adorable.
pockets, feeling
Aw.
overjoyed.
Why are you
But then,
talking about
the
yourself?
lights went out, and I heard hooves on the ground. I froze in fear
You are
and looked
really
up.
adorable.
Standing before me was Krampus. He sneered at me.
Krampus never felt love, so he just wants a hug. I mean, look at that face. Who can't love that face?
Got him. So lovable and kissable.
What's those teeth do?
You're not on the good list. I screamed and ran as fast as I could. Krampus's hooves thumping behind me as I ran.
Why
The
is
snow
that
was coming
really
down
up
harder
today?
and harder, making it difficult to see and
Are you
almost
on-
impossible to run. I could hear Krampus's voice behind me, telling me I was in trouble. Faced with no other
He has a
option, I
face
finally
nothing but a
stopped
mother
and
can
fell to the
love.
ground crying.
It's okay, I'll
Above me, a
give him
large,
love.
shadowy figure appeared. But then I heard police sirens in the distance. With a surge of hope, I ran towards them and right into a group of policemen. Help me! Help me! Krampus is chasing me!
Hold on, kid. What are you
Just
talking
kissing
about?
me.
Wait, why would cops stop Krampus? That makes no fucking sense.
Krampus is
I think
chasing
they
me.
were
He's
going
been
after
chasing
him.
me since Christmas. He was in the gas station back there. See? I don't think he liked me stealing candy from the... I froze, realizing what I had said to the police. They looked down at me, sneering.
Oh, something really freaked you out. Otherwise, you wouldn't have let slip that you stole some snacks, would you? Empty your pockets, kid.
I mean,
As I sat in a cell waiting for my fate to be decided, I heard devilish laughter
Waiting
from
for my
outside the
fate to be
jail.
decided.
I
Your
leapt
kids
up,
are gonna let you
running
off.
to a single window
Calm
in the
down.
cell. Outside in the snow, I saw the hulking figure of Krampus. His face was parted into
no.
an evil grin. Better be good
I like
next
him not on
year,
the skin and
Ryan,
it's terrible.
or
Oh, thank
else there
you.
won't be a next year to look forward
You
to.
never seen the
And with
movie
that,
Krampus the Police
Krampus turned
died?
and vanished into the
because
snow.
let's go Krampus because Krampus causes a fat bitch. Oh, awesome! He comes with handlebars. I love it when they come with handlebars. Isn't that right, Mari?
Yes.
You already got them. See,
Wait, what?
Mari's model has them on her head right now.
I
And the
have
bars
handlebars.
built in. Have you guys ever tried to ride with no handlebars? It's great.
The
I
built-in
shuddered.
leash.
I'm never going to steal or misbehave ever again. I know that Krampus is supposed to just
Good
scare
boy.
kids, but after a close encounter with him, I can't help but feel like
Perfect
that's just an
reflection
urban
of
legend.
you.
The real
No.
Krampus looked all too willing to make sure I stay in line and kill me if I don't.
Oh, something really freaked you out. Otherwise, you wouldn't have let slip that you stole some snacks, would you? Empty your pockets, kid.
Be
I
alright,
mean-
blemish patches.
As I sat in a cell waiting for my fate to be decided, I heard devilish
Waiting for
laughter
my fate
from
to be
outside the
decided.
I was making a clip. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm sitting here like, why am I hearing double?
I was grabbing a clip.
Absorb plus an oil.
Okay. Actually, I don't think I have another video queued up yet.
Oh, we went through all.
Yeah. I only got about 2 hours with. You guys want to watch another one or?
I'm good. Wait, what clip? I don't know. That's on Ringo, okay? It's probably about the handlebars.
parted into an evil grin. Better be
Let's see. I'm down for another video.
Okay.
Or if somebody wants us to watch a quick clip.
a quick clip.
Yeah.
Go up to you, buddy.
The video, 10 minutes. I'm down for it.
How long is it?
I said that the video's like 10 minutes. I'm down for it.
This one's like 32.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
As a new hunting season begins, we observe a species most...
Stop telling people that I'm in the middle of nowhere, damn it.
Up until last May, I shared an apartment with my little sister Gloria. She was going to college at the time and needed a place to stay. Gloria and I were only 2 years apart, so we got
The stretch
along
was
great.
freaking awesome.
She was busy with her classes,
It, like,
and I worked a lot.
Popped my entire back.
What? Wait, what was?
I did a stretch and it popped my entire back.
Oh, see, those handlebars come in handy.
But we usually made time
Them
to have dinner together,
eyes.
and we always made time for our Friday game night. It was more than a tradition. It was part of our lives.
Fucking game is that?
Gloria had proposed the idea. I was reluctant at first because I didn't socialize much, but I wasn't interested in hosting a party with all of Gloria's friends. But that first night, when we played some trivia game until 3 in the morning, I'd completely changed my mind. I loved Friday game night, and I promised Gloria that we'd keep the tradition alive as long as we lived together. 3 years later, Friday game night was still going strong. Gloria complained about it sometimes, but I knew that she loved it just as much as I did. There were a few times when she tried to cancel, but the only reason she did was because she thought...
Cal, yes, I'm standing Cal, I'm watching the video, damn it.
Dare.
Yeah, Mari, if you read this, you're adorable. Damn, Doctor got you. Thank you for the stretch, by the way, Dr. Phil. So I'm jumping in between the chats.
Thought she was monopolizing my time.
I'm looking at both
but
chats.
I always assured her that it was a pleasure to have her friends over. Then, last May, Gloria told me that she was moving out after graduation. She was still staying in the city, but she wanted to move in with her boyfriend, Robbie. I was shocked. I always thought she was happy here. We had such a great situation going on.
What did I miss out on?
I told her that.
Nothing
I told
too
her
much.
that she needed to stay with me. We argued about it for an hour before she finally came to her senses.
49.
She agreed to keep living with me.
Let me just go and correct
that Friday we
that
had
for
our game
ya,
night as usual. It was me, Gloria, her boyfriend
There we go.
Robbie, and
69, damn.
Even though Gloria seemed a bit on edge, I knew we were going to have a great
I'm
night.
always a good
The 5 of us sat at our living room table, as usual. It was Robbie's turn to... We were just going to use a shot.
I think Mari is the
don't know.
best girl.
Glass. I don't know if I like this, I said. But
I'll
everybody
be back.
else
I'm
was
horny
really
bonking you on
insistent.
Ringo's side.
They thought it was a great idea, so I was outvoted. Everyone else
Horny
reached out and
bonks, let's
put their
go.
fingers on the shot
You get
glass.
horny
Wait,
bonk
wait,
with
wait, wait, wait,
succubus.
wait, wait. It was like, you know what? Friday game night. Ouija board. Fuck it, let's go. I mean, I know technically they said that in the game section, but that's not a game.
Yeah.
And I was too nervous
To
to
some
go.
people it is.
Gloria grabbed me by the wrist and forced me
Okay, sometimes life
Oh,
is a game to
hell
people.
to touch the glass as well.
Oh yeah, I got headbutts.
So
thank you.
what's supposed to happen?
Get
Lisa
bonked.
asked,
I don't want to
as
get
she was
bonked.
grinning excitedly.
I think Mari is a brat.
We
Agree,
just
Dr.
need to
Phil.
ask a question.
I am not a
Gloria
brat.
explained.
You know the only
And
way
then
to
the
take care of a
spirits will
brat
answer.
is to bonk him.
Okay. Robbie
No.
said. It's
Or
my
tame
turn,
them.
so I'll start. He thought
Or
for
we
a
could tame
second.
you.
Then he asked,
I cannot be tamed.
what will happen tonight? At first,
Okay,
nothing
here.
happened.
Yeah, I get
And then the
headbutts.
shot glass began to twitch. And then suddenly move.
No.
It
fuck
slid over
that
to the letter
shit.
D. Then the letter I. And then the letter E.
Wanna bet there'll
Die?
be a bonk?
Lisa whispered.
No, don't give
I
me
jumped out of my
bonkies.
chair. I didn't like this at all.
Please don't bonk me.
Guys,
No,
let's put
don't
the game
bonk
away.
me. Ringo,
We have
you
plenty of other-
asswipe.
No, Gloria shouted.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sit back down so we can
How
ask another
dare you.
question.
How
I never
dare you
saw my
bonk the
sister
sucky
so
sucky.
serious before.
I
And
know
by
I have a leash you
begrudgingly
can borrow,
sucking-
Ringo.
You know what? You know
Oh,
what?
trust me,
Just-
Dr.
And
Phil.
then
I don't
they
need a
But
borrow
you
a
get
leash.
the-
to ask another question.
I don't need a borrow a leash for
Dan, who
Dr. Phil. I'm
didn't say
good.
much since they had got here, asked,
I already have the equipment I
"Who's
need.
going to die?"
Hold on, wait,
We
guys.
all
Wait.
touched the shot glass and
I
waited.
get to have another leash?
Slowly,
No, you already have
slowly
one.
to the letter J.
No.
My name is Jane, so
I
obviously
don't deserve
that's what
it.
the board was spelling out.
Yeah, I
I
think you
let
can't
go
probably
of the
head
shot
that.
glass before it could continue.
I'm not just a brat.
Nope, I said. No. We are not doing this. Jane, come on, Gloria said. Just one more question. You can ask it. I should have refused, but there was something about the look of my sister's face that forced me to keep going. Well,
What about
okay,
leash? I don't know. Somebody want to get me another leash?
well, if I'm
Yeah, Mari wants to go for walkies, don't you, Mari?
Yeah. I want to go on walkies.
Mari loves
Wait, does your
walkies.
avatar have a
I'm going to
pet?
die
So. I
How
have
will
to
it
get it
happen?
added on to this one.
Also, chat, if you guys look at my stream, Mari already has a leash.
The others waited for me to put my fingers back on the shot
Be like
glass. When I did, the glass started to move again.
Oh
B.
no. B.
A. L. Eventually, spelling out the word balcony. A chill ran down my spine. Was I supposed to fall off the balcony?
Why need a leash? I
We were
need a
6
leash
stories
because
up,
I need to go
so
on
that would
walkies.
definitely kill me. Gloria reached out and grabbed my hand. She was acting extremely sympathetic now. as
When
if I
you
had just
tame a
gotten an
bat,
official
a
death
brat, they
sentence or
become a
something.
pet.
It's okay, she said.
No.
Don't be scared.
Yep. That's
I'm
why
not
they want
scared.
walkies.
I lied.
I want to see it when
But
it's added. I'm
I'm
sure it'll be
definitely
as
not going out on
adorable
the
as
balcony
you.
tonight.
Actually, you can see it already.
But you have to.
Their name is Bowie, and it's my points on my on the channel.
Bobby said.
No
Come
walkies for
on.
brats.
He's-
Well, that's a good thing I'm not a brat then.
See, Dr. Phil sees my 4 pets on my screen. I have, let's see, it was Barnabas, Bandit, and, I think it was Gizmo. Are my 4 pets.
You
And then the
named
5th.
you named them.
Yes, we got Barnabas,
Oh,
Bandit, and
cute.
Ringo. We got Barnabas. Bandit's the raccoon. Barnabas was the red panda, and Zim I think was the middle one. The Tanuki was Zim. I had my chat name them. And then my 4th pet. My
Maybe we don't want each other. Yeah.
My 4th pet is Mari. Okay.
He stood up and started walking towards the balcony. Lisa and Dan did too. Gloria tried to pull me up out of my seat so we could join them, but I pushed her hand away.
Want ice cream
This
now?
is
I
stupid.
had ice cream
I said.
earlier during
Ouija
stream.
boards can't predict the future.
How do we decide what hotel to book?
Oh,
We
God.
don't!
Skip them.
There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to go out on the balcony, right? She argued. Come on.
You're more
Nope.
adorable
Don't you
than the
wanna have a
pet.
fun
Never
game
mind.
night?
What?
Fine, I mumbled. I still thought it was a ridiculous idea, but I followed Gloria out into the balcony anyway. Once we were all out crammed in our tiny balcony, I looked around. See, I'm still alive. I know, Gloria said. Then she suddenly nodded to her friends,
You
as
gotta
if she
pet
had
the
given
Mari.
them some unspoken
Yes.
signal.
Give me head that.
Because they all nodded back and then walked back inside the house. With Gloria and I on the balcony, they closed and locked the sliding door behind
You guys
us.
are just bonging everyone now?
Gloria gave me
Yep.
a big hug. I can't keep living like this, Jane, she whispered into my ear.
Hmm?
I asked her what she was talking about, and I couldn't
She gonna
believe
push her off the
answer.
balcony.
She told
Yep.
me that she hated living with me. She said that I was holding her back, and all of her friends hated me in my stupid game night. That's not true, I said, my heart pounding in my chest. I feel like I could barely recognize
If you
my
want,
sister.
we can make a bet.
Her
You make me think you're not cute. I'm not calling you cute again.
feel like this
So
animation.
they faked the Ouija board.
Yeah, I was saying, I feel like this animation, they're like, man, we begrudgingly met every Friday for a board game night, and rather than like ghosting your friends or like, saying, hey, I don't want to do game night this night, like a normal person would do if they don't like something, they're like, you know what? Let's just plan to kill her so we never have to do it again.
You choose what I get
Expression
for
was
winning
so dark. It was
But
like she was a different person.
It wouldn't work. It wouldn't change your way of thinking.
Wow, Dr. Phil, that's mean to say to yourself. That's not true at all, Dr. Phil. Don't say that.
If you want to think I'm not cute, I have spicy art of Mari.
Behind the
Yeah, Mari does.
sliding glass, her friends were
I have
staring
very
at us,
spicy
waiting.
art of
Mari
very
also,
spicy art of me.
Mari also has some other spicy art, man. Ready to go.
Yeah.
Puppy Mari is adorable. Look it up.
Gloria planned to push me off
Yep,
the balcony.
look at my Twitter for Puppy Mari.
In on it. They hated me that much. Gloria dove at me. With her hands on my shoulders, she
Fucking
started pushing me
bitch.
towards the edge. My back was against
I
the
would have
railing.
just scooted my
Gloria
knees
kneed me in
down
the
and
stomach,
she wouldn't
she
be able.
tried
Oh,
to
fuck
shove
no.
me over the edge. I would have fallen
Bitch.
if I didn't grab Gloria by her ponytail and pulled as hard
What
as I could.
ponytail?
I twisted out and gripped her
I saw
and
the
dove to
spicy
the
art of
side.
it.
Gloria couldn't steady herself in time, and she toppled.
Yeah.
over
Aw,
the ledge.
bitch.
I heard her scream all the way
Yes,
down
Count, it is.
before her body splattered onto the parking lot below. I walked to the sliding door and waited for Gloria's friends to let me back in.
Yes, it is, Count.
They all
This is an
stared
18
at
plus
me in
stream, so that
total
would make
shock.
sense.
But then they opened the door. I guess the Ouija board got
Yes,
them
Mari
in.
is.
What?
I said. Now
Wait,
get the
Mari's
hell
an
out of my
artist?
house.
Yeah.
It's been 3 months since that
Yeah.
night, and 2.5 months since Gloria's funeral.
A little bit.
Needless to
I
say,
dabble.
I haven't had another game night since.
You know what? I will pin it on my Twitter just so you can see it.
My name is Brittany. I'm a senior in high
I
school
got
with
this.
plans to go to
Brittany, go.
Northwestern next year.
It's
I
Brittany,
want to
bitch.
major in some kind of science, probably biology. I'm a really analytical person, so I've always been more interested in facts. Whereas my two best friends, Tanya and Jamie, are a lot more artistic than me. Don't get me wrong, the three of us get along really well. We've been best friends since kindergarten, but our interests are very different. Last month, Tanya and Jamie came over to my place to have a sleepover. And guess what Tanya brought? A
I
Ouija
pinned
board.
it.
I told her that I had no interest in that paranormal pseudoscience nonsense, but Tanya was insistent.
That's the me. I
Jamie didn't
made
say anything at all.
biscuits.
Eventually,
Ew,
I
it's
gave in.
X.com now?
It was a rainy night,
Fuck.
which made the whole thing even creepier. Of course, I refused to believe in spirits and magic, but it didn't help that thunder rumbled through my house every 20 seconds. My brain told me that this whole thing was stupid, but my heart still kept pounding in my chest. The three of us sat at my coffee table. Tanya set up the board, which I guess she bought used from Goodwill. We didn't even have one of those triangle things to ask our questions.
No.
Instead, we just used a shot glass.
Why?
Tanya told us to put our fingertips on the shot glass. Jamie really fought against it.
I feel like that's not
saying
official.
that we were
And
inviting
we-
bad spirits into the house.
No.
Nothing good would come of this.
I feel like that's not very official using a shot glass, just saying.
She was being very dramatic.
I mean,
But the three of us were
it
best
kinda
friends.
works the same to see the letters.
Good to see
but
that you finally admitted that you're a Brett in the pin tweet. Yes, exactly. They're also
I
a pet.
know.
That pin tweet also says that they are a pet. They are a very good puppy dog, aren't you? Aren't you a good girl puppy? You're such a good girl, Mari. A good little puppy dog, aren't you?
All Tanya had to do was nudge Jamie in the side and give her a look.
Good old puppy, Mari.
Jamie sighed and touched the shot glass. Well, Tanya turned to Jamie. Since you're so spooked by it, why don't you ask the first question? Jamie shook her head. I had a feeling she was worried that the board would magically reveal some deep, dark secret she had. I knew she was seeing a new guy because she'd recently started canceling on us a lot. That had to be her secret. So to ruffle her feathers a bit, I asked, who is Jamie thinking about right now? The shot glass moved under our fingers. I looked to my friends to see if either of them was pushing it, but they looked surprised as I was. Slowly, We started to spell a word. D-A-V-E. Dave? I asked. Tanya's boyfriend?
Dave?
Jamie jumped up, horrified, and then ran out of the room. We called after her, but she locked herself in the bathroom. Then, after 5 minutes, she came back and explained what happened.
Oh my
Backstabbing
god.
little bitch. That backstabbing little bitch.
Backstabbing little bitch. Dave, how could you?
I'm so sorry, she said. Dave and I had sex. It was a big mistake, and I've been trying to figure out how to tell you.
If you don't take
Tanya
my
looked
head
furious for a
and
second,
smash her head
and
on the
instantly
table
started
right
smiling.
now.
That's it? I know that Dave sleeps around. We both do. We have an open relationship.
Ah,
Everything
but a best
seemed okay
friend?
between them. Even
Hell
though Jamie
no!
was
Fuck
relieved,
this bitch up!
she refused to have that Ouija board in the house anymore. Tanya tried to stop her, but she grabbed the board, used the stove to set it on fire, and then chucked it out the window.
She didn't like that it
After
exposed
that, we
her.
all went to bed. It was a strange night, but I wasn't scared. Not until morning. I woke up early and saw that neither of my friends were in their beds. I went downstairs and looked around. No one was there, but the burnt Ouija board was sitting on the table, as if it was waiting for me. I don't know what came over me, but I sat next to the board and touched the shard of glass. I asked where my friends were. I started pushing on the glass, and slowly it spelled out, "Look out." Right away, I knew where they were. Lookout Hill was about 10 minutes away from my house. We'd hiked there a bunch of times before. I ran out the door.
I thought it meant
Even
look
though
out
I
the
was still wearing
window or
pajamas,
look out.
I raced
Yeah, I know, right?
up the path and
Something like
onto
look
Seems
out
like
the door.
seems like quite a leap.
Lookout Hill. Jamie wasn't there. Jamie, I shouted. My
You
voice
didn't think to
echoed
ask
into
for
the
more
valley below.
specific questions?
There was silence at first, and then I heard Jamie's weak, quiet voice. Help! I ran to the edge of
Nah,
the hill.
bitch, you don't
and I
get
saw
no help.
Jamie lying on the ground
Fucking
far
sleep
below.
around your best friend's
Her leg was
boyfriend?
twisted to the side, obviously
Fuck
broken.
you, bitch.
What happened?
Nope, that's what you get.
I called to her.
Leave her ass there.
Very
Just walk
weakly,
away, leave her
Jamie
there.
answered. Tanya pushed me. And then I felt two hands on my back. Tanya was right behind me, trying to push me over the edge, like she'd done to Jamie. I stumbled forward, but didn't fall. I was able to twist around and face her. We
Look,
fought
I would have
along
been
the
like,
cliff.
girl, we in
She
this
kept
shit
scratching
together.
at me wildly.
Let's go fuck her up.
She got me backed up against the cliff. I had nowhere to go. Why are you doing this? I asked. She slept with my boyfriend, Tanya said, and I would have kept you out of this if you hadn't found us. Then she jerked forward, but instead of standing there, I dove to the side and she toppled over the edge. I heard a terrible splat as her body landed on something. I quickly grabbed my cell and called 911. Then I climbed down into the valley to be with Jamie. I passed by Tanya's body. She was definitely dead. As Jamie and I waited for help to arrive, Jamie struggled to stay awake. The pain and loss of blood was really getting to her. She asked me how I found her, and I honestly didn't know what to say. The only reason I found her was because of that Ouija board. If I hadn't asked it that question, then poor Jamie.
I feel like with the Ouija board, it has to be like your mind deciding what to say, because like who says look out and then thinks look out hill?
Look out, Hill. Yeah.
I'd be like, I'd stand up and be like, what the fuck am I looking out for?
Yep.
It's just, I mean, it's
I'll
obviously
be
a fake
thinking
fucking
something's
story.
gonna get thrown at me, or I need to look out the window, or something.
Yeah.
He would have died in
Look
the
out.
It's almost like the like TV psychics where they go like very, very broad with stuff, and they try to like focus it up on something to like make you feel something. I feel like it's that.
woods.
This story probably had a bit of fibbing to it.
Oh,
The
I'm
weather
sure
was
all these are
cold
fake.
at that
As
time
fuck.
of year. Type of winter that
Look,
came
let
with
me-
a
let me-
dry
let me-
wind.
That
Wait,
dude
Summer
is
the
high
hours
as
wrapped
hell.
in
Look at his
long,
eyes.
unbreathed. The snow was knee-deep, with the promise of more snowfall as the hours progressed. I recall the sensations I felt waddling through the
The one in
puddle
the
of
black
snow
jacket,
towards the
right?
cabin.
Yeah, the one in the middle,
The
him right there.
alcohol in my belly had begun to alter my sensitivity, and I felt
motherfucker high.
thrilled by cheap
Alcohol?
jokes,
You look
marketing.
high.
All three of us heading
Well, some people
towards
look like that after
haunted
drinking.
cabin, far removed from the university campus, should have been all
Hey,
the
higher
red
than an
flags we
Empire
should have
State
needed to
Building.
dissuade us from
Nah,
such a
he's
trip.
higher than Dr.
We were
Phil.
boys, And it seemed
Hey,
that
hold
our own
on, don't.
curiosity and
No,
its
I don't think.
allure
I don't
had
think
such
that's
a hold
possible.
on us already.
I think it is
Careful,
possible.
Michael. Greg, the
Nah,
third
I
party in
believe
our
in
trio,
Dr.
said to
Phil.
me as I climbed up the steps that led into the dilapidated
Dr.
cabin.
Phil.
Oh, shit. I whimpered, collapsing with my hands held out to stop my fall.
Oh, fuck.
The ruins of the building shook violently. I felt all of the centuries of the building standing on its
you're
own
just
since the
fucked up.
university was established.
What'd you just say?
I said Hun is fucked up.
It is.
The humble construction of wood and ingenuity was a testament of our
Ingenuity.
university's prestige and endurance. But half a century ago, the rumors of the cabin home being haunted began to spread. The words changed perception quickly. I gasped as I picked myself up. That was fine, I told the boys, and we could start recording our experience. There was hardly any way to know what to expect when we stepped into the airy building because the air outside and that inside had the same temperature.
You're all gonna
Whatever
die.
smell we may have received of blood or rotten flesh was masked by the cold. 3 university students armed with an Ouija board and a camera phone to pick up any strange incidents we found in the rooms.
Armed.
Shut the door, Martin said to me as I walked in. I turned around and the frigid air whistled ominously through the porch.
Hey, well, alert,
Hesitated
Dr.
for a
Phil.
small
I
moment,
would say they're
deep
yawn.
breath,
Thank you for the alert, Dr.
and
Phil.
pushed the door shut. The hollow lodging fell black. Greg's camera light came on. I gulped in an attempt to swallow the uneasy feeling that crept up my stomach. The general atmosphere was stained with an awry mood, and even though I was still unafraid, I could not help but notice it. Are you ready? Martin asked as he produced the Ouija board, placing it on the floor before us. I nodded in the darkness. I suspect Greg did the same as his camera light dropped on the Ouija board. Martin cleared his throat and...
So does anyone know the ethics for Ouija boards? Like, can you just get like a $20 one from like Toy Story? Or not Toy Story. Fucking Toys R Us? Or do you have to get like the fancy like Wiccan ones that are like $1,000 to get the true effects?
I mean, if you want one that really works, thrift stores are a good idea, and vintage shops.
I mean, is it like the Bible where like no matter what it just works? Like you can have like $1 Bible or $1,000 Bible. It all has the same shit in it. Is it kind of like that?
It can work because technically it's kind of like a ritual, so it can work.
placed his fingers on the board, snagging the pendulum that swung this way and that for
Depends
answers.
on if you want something that has energy attached to
Frigid
it
air
already.
made my heartbeat spike, but it was normal, I assured myself. I did the same with him, and Greg's hands joined ours. Martin had the first question of the evening. He asked if there were only 3 of us in the lodge after some consideration. The pendulum shifted across the letters. I could not tell what it was that triggered our muscles that way, but it felt surreal that I was so compelled to push the pendulum towards the Y and the E before settling on the S. My brows caved in suspicion. It was not the assurance that I wished for. I did not believe in the power of such a simple board game to speak truth or connect our natural plane to one of utter terror.
Oh my goodness.
So does a Ouija board come with instructions, or do you just gotta like wing it?
They come with instructions, but they're also instructions that are very Googleable.
Can you make your own house rules?
What?
Can you make your own house rules for the game?
I mean,
Is my name
technically, yeah.
Technically.
Depends on what you want to, like, what type of rules we're talking about.
Oh, I want to play strip Ouija board.
Fuck it, no. You're gonna get scratched easier that way.
Strip Ouija board, let's go. Fuck it.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie, it does sound interesting though.
Every time you ask a question, you gotta take a piece of clothing off. Or ask the ghost to take it off for you.
Oh my god.
I think I'm onto something, guys.
You're trying to summon a fucking succubus.
I think I already did.
Oh my, you did. What and how would you even play? Draco. Oh, Draco, cover your innocent ears.
Josh? Martin asked. Our fingers moved the pendulum, and it dragged from the S letter to an N, then to the O.
Nah, you just want to get naked, Ringo? I mean, you know I'm not already.
I had to put on
A
some clothes
raspy
and I had to go
phlegm
get
blocked my
food
airways, and I blinked
for the first time.
instinctively. We all sensed that the Ouija board was working just as we wanted it to, yet it was strange that we could not rationalize how it worked and the science behind it.
There is no science behind
Martin wasted no time.
Actually, there is.
Is this cabin lodge haunted? Martin asked. I blinked again. It felt like an
It'd be hilarious if it
eternity
said no.
before the pendulum we had our fingers on.
No.
moved.
Damn!
Wait, you stream naked? Don't worry about that.
Horror as it glided across the board towards the Y. My respiration turned shallow.
Yeah, Drake, you didn't even know about
the alcohol I had drunk before our silly adventure wore off my eyes, and I could feel the wind of something sinister drift closer to us. My fingers began to quiver, and my uneasy stomach rumbled.
Sometimes you just gotta unleash the beast when you get a cool
Pendulum
penta kill,
shifted to
okay?
the side of the letter E.
Thank you for the hydrate, Dr. Phil.
My ears whirred. I wanted out. It was a game taken too far.
Yo!
I hollered. The pendulum had stopped at the S. Martin had a smirk on his face. The angle of the camera and the light cast his aspect in such a dreadful manner that horrified me. I wondered how he could manage to be so calm. I turned to Greg, and his eyes had a red glint from staring directly at the light. He was not laughing. He was expressionless. Are we being haunted
That
right
motherfucker's
now?
scared.
Martin asked, and my attention shifted from Greg for a second. The silence around the room deepened. Y-E-S.
Why not just go to the... Oh, fuck no!
The bang so loud it tore through my numb senses, shaking the entire house. I was in disbelief at how swift the figure swept through the darkness. The bulk seemed heavy because its feet slammed on the floor, carried so much force.
Santa, what are you doing here?
Burst out in a shriek. What the hell? He blurted. I felt something
That scared me. I'm sorry, Draco.
The metallic smell and the gargling bellow of Martin in pain sent my senses into overdrive. Greg lifted his camera to Martin's face. My knees buckled at the sight of blood dripping down the side of his head.
I'm trying to feel that.
Straight into the waiting mouth of a...
Ugh, he's ugly, though.
Gonna get bit by a raccoon.
You're rabid. No, thank you.
Damn. That dude is higher than Dr. Phil up in the orbit. Yeah, since I'm taken out. Yeah, you are out at the moment, Dr. Phil. That's right.
The frenzy of my beating heart ceased, and all that was life in my head flashed right through my eyes. Greg hollered, and this grunting man turned on Greg.
So wait. Question. Ouija board logistics again, guys. If you contact a spirit that's illiterate, how's it going to respond to you?
It doesn't.
Because, like, if it doesn't know, like, simple spelling, it's not good. Like, or what if they're like me and they're just bad? It'll be like, when are you going to haunt us? And they spell tomorrow wrong. Then the ghost is just an idiot.
Well,
knocking the camera out.
I don't know. I think it really depends. Do you imagine the spirit as someone that's holding the planchette, or do you imagine the spirit as someone that's just communicating through it?
Oh, that's the case. They're just communicating that way. Then wouldn't like slang words be a thing? Be like, oh, how'd you die? It's like, I got popped a cap in my ass.
I mean, they can talk that way, but in terms of like slang, like abbreviated stuff, I don't think so.
Damn. Like, what's your favorite saying? LOL.
The room dropped into bleak darkness, and the camera bounced to the corner of the room. Jesus Christ! I cried, spinning around blindly to escape this unknown
Stupid-ass ghost, but the ghost
squeeze Greg's hand and drink
You nomming on that motherfucker.
My heart thumped on my ribcage in desperation for escape, even as my feet sought the same. I found the door first and pulled it open forcefully. I could not have welcomed daylight as gray as the day was in my entire life as I did in that moment.
Y'all been there all night?
I heard someone say,
Why am I getting wrong?
past me as I stepped out. What followed was a ripping batch of gunshots that caused a loud crash.
Holy shit.
I turned around, and a guard with denim pants and a checkered shirt was staring back at me with a gun in his hand. His gaze was curious.
Oh no.
His mouth hung in studied silence before he spoke. "Did it get you?" he asked.
What?
I was too shaken to have an answer for him.
Did it get you?
Hey guys, Manscaped and the
What the
Oh
hell?
my god.
Oh my god. Why?
Not persist.
Goodness.
20 years of haunting this cabin, and it takes you idiots to lure him out of his hiding in daylight. He kissed his teeth and looked down on the riddled body of the man. It all happened so quickly that it was at that moment it dawned on me that I had just been saved. Greg.
Manscaped got him.
Martin, I mewed. Emergency services will be here in 10 minutes. I called them when I saw you morons come in, the guard mentioned. The cold winter air running into my nostrils did not feel so cold.
Was he a vampire?
It warmed me with relief.
No. He wasn't sparkling enough.
I woke up feeling uneasy. My head.
Now those are some dark circles. Damn.
Also drained and disillusioned.
Look, he's taking your job of being a raccoon.
Months upon months.
Being your what?
Nothing ever changed
A raccoon.
for the better.
Damn,
My body
I'm a
only seemed to
raccoon.
grow weaker, and that was her plan for me all along. My mother
Look
said
how
I must
sick
take
you
10
look.
pills a day
Ugh.
to completely subdue
So
my
we just
anxiety
not
problems.
gonna learn what that dude
She never
was? I
showed
guess
me
not.
what the pills
Motherfucker
were,
didn't sleep.
nor where she got them. I tried to figure out what they actually were, but I was never able to reach the decisive conclusion about what they contained. The risk was too severe. I just knew that whatever it was causing me to
No,
rot
Toasty,
away,
get some sleep.
unable to exist as myself, but only as my mother's property. I would wake up every morning with a gaping hole in my stomach, churning my insides before I
Understand
even
mothers
left the
like
bed.
that.
There was little left for me to try and improve
The ones that
upon. or
purposely make their
fix.
kids sick.
I was
Yeah, I
merely
don't know.
a body left to suffer.
Like you're fucking
I decided
evil.
that day to take control of my life again. I had to begin, regardless of how terrified I truly
Good night,
was.
Dr. Phil.
Of what roamed around the prison I was forced to call home.
Yeah, good
I
night, Dr.
clambered out
Phil.
of bed,
Hope you get feeling
barely
better,
having
man.
the energy to even stand.
Oh,
I
look,
crawled
his
across
ribs.
The bedroom floor to
Crawl.
the wooden door standing solemnly.
Look, he's
at the
even
other end
crawling
of
like
my
you,
room.
Ringo.
Hey!
Opened with a sinister creaking
Maybe.
noise as I poked my head out, looking down either end of the hallway, checking for the immediate danger that I knew lurked somewhere in the house, waiting for me. After seeing the coast was clear, I crept out of my room, hastily stumbling towards the stairs, making my way down towards the kitchen below.
Making my way
Making
down.
my
No.
way
I peered around
downtown.
the doorway, looking into the kitchen.
Diddle, diddle,
And
diddle.
there she stood,
And I
standing as a
need you.
statue in the
Why she
center
look like
of the room,
Ursula?
glaring at me. My mother.
Ursula.
Hello, Toby.
Hello,
How are
Toby.
you feeling, Toby?
How you feeling, Toby?
Any more head traumas? My mother asked.
It's about to be.
sweetly, still whilst glaring at me with her sharpened pupils, looking at me with an observant stance. Hi, Mom. Nothing more than usual. Nothing to worry about, really. What's for breakfast? I asked, trying to divert her attention away from the medication. I could see her fangs rearing in the back of her mouth, preparing to spew the same venom she always does. The same question. As rhetorical as
Are
it
you
was,
out of bed?
she seemed to go on about it relentlessly, and with the same intense magnitude of my headache. I was finding it agonizing to even listen to her drone on about the morning menu of bread, water, and pills. Toby,
Full breakfast.
don't lie to your mother now. How is your head? Her tone shifted into a sinister, accusatory passion.
How
I felt
is
suddenly
your
numb with
head?
fear, but kept my head down and attempted to relinquish to her
is your head?
interrogation. Sorry,
Never tried it. Don't know.
I don't know what came over me. I feel a little heavy in the head, and my stomach doesn't feel so great either. That's why I was asking about breakfast. I felt her glare subside, and she once again put on the motherly act she always did, looking at me with a wide grin, seemingly calmed by my apology. However, beyond the grin, her blood was boiling. She was verging on eruption. "Oh, dear Toby, let's get you some more medication then, shall we?" Before I could ready myself to answer her, she had already scuttled halfway up the stairs.
Yeah,
to
exactly,
fetch some
Mini
more
Mac.
medicine
Exactly.
for me to have for breakfast, along with my minimal meal of bread and water. I dreaded gulping down any more pills, just to have my stomach toil with the poison it released inside me. So this time, I was going to try and escape it. I truly believed that I would be able to hide them in my mouth, if only the pills had been smaller. "Toby, here are your pills. Wolf them down quickly so I can leave for work." She slapped them down on the table with a vicious
That's a
hand
lot of
gesture,
pills.
A lot of
asking me
Mentos.
to take them swiftly so she could be on her way. I grabbed every pill in one great handful.
Congratulations
and
on
shoved
4
them
hours of
deep into my
streaming.
mouth,
Oh, thank
burying
you.
them under my tongue. As I did so, I felt them soften against the underside of my tongue. The contents would release if I held them there too long. Mother needed to leave soon. When Mother asked me to open my mouth wide so she could check to see if I had swallowed, I did so with a nervous shudder.
I would have tucked
expecting
them
only the
in the
worst to
back of
come.
my gums on
I
top.
could feel her gaze set upon the very back of my mouth.
I always used to tuck
Oh
them
God,
in the
I
back
thought.
of my gums.
She'd seen them. She leaned backwards slowly. Her smile darkened into a foul look of hatred. "Toby, what did we say about liars?" Her stare was
I would have spit
lifeless
them
and
pills in her
piercing.
face.
I lifted my head, my eyes devoid of all remaining hope, and stared into her dead eye, and muttered under my breath. I whimpered.
Whimpered.
"Please don't."
Oh, whimpered.
Our
He
ads.
whimpered.
Whimpered. His mother kept giving him Viagra. Damn, that's dark, Mini Mac.
Damn.
Dark as fuck, boy.
You guys got an ad?
Suddenly collapsed, and an ape-like fury took over her.
Oh
She stooped
my.
deeply into a furious rampage, grasping my arm with her
Looks
spindly
angry.
fingers. She ripped me straight out of my seat. Then in one bulk of emotion, she grabbed a nearby metal pot and launched it into the back of my skull. But
You don't do that,
before it
son.
could connect,
Sick.
I flung my body to the floor to dodge the blow. The look in her eyes amassed into two balls of flaming
You trying
anger,
to kill
penetrating my
him.
very soul as I pulled away from her bony grasp and sprinted towards the doorway with incredible haste. I could escape. This was my
Run,
chance.
run, run. Here
I
they
reached the
come. Boy,
hallway,
you slow
my
as
mother
fuck.
close behind,
He's
tailing
sick.
me with the pot raised above her head. The strike being prepared imminently. There wasn't much time left. If I didn't escape
Run,
now,
motherfucker,
Mother
run.
would hold back with pummeling me into a thick pile of flesh.
Give her a titty
to
twister.
then
They'll get it
feed
out.
upon for the next few days. It was now or never.
Just.
I grabbed the doorknob of the front door. I twisted it with a shaking grasp, the panic surging into me with the might
Hurry
of a
up!
charging rhino. I heard a click. The door swung open, and I fell back,
Run.
startled by the vision of daylight.
Boy,
I had been
run!
locked inside ever since my mother's
Oh my
brain
god, we ain't
broke.
got time for this.
That was
Run.
over 10 years ago, when Father was still alive. I heard her footsteps boom through the corridor. The sound urged my legs to move in a rapid motion straight out of the doorway.
Exactly, Mini Mac.
Out onto the street and into the freedom that
You
came
gonna
with
have
it.
withdrawals
I
after
could still
this.
hear Mother's bellowing, echoing
Oh.
far behind me as I ran. I didn't stop running. I couldn't stop running. Fear had injected itself into the ravines of my mind. The feeling of exposure felt exhilarating.
Pain attack.
I had escaped. I eventually came across a group of adults walking across the street opposite to me. I had been suffering Such dire malnutrition was so long that I collapsed right there in front of them as I tried begging them for help. As my eyes dimmed, I could see them crowding around me, asking if I was okay. Quite clearly, I was not. I woke up in a white room the next day. I had multiple cords attached to my wrists. A man dressed in all white, holding a clipboard, mouthing to me words in some blurred dialect that I couldn't understand. He continued to speak until eventually I could make out the words. "Don't worry, your mother is here to take you home." A skeletal figure of a woman then walked in behind him. I could make out the same wide grin. I thought I had escaped. I truly did.
Tell them no.
Toby, it's time to go home.
Damn. Dammers.
That poor bean.
That poor
Just
bean.
tell the doctor that she's abusing you.
Yeah, that'd be easy, wouldn't it? But then that would complete the story. It's a horror story, not a happy story, okay?
Well,
But alright, I think we're gonna wrap it here, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up here as well. I've been going for 240, almost 3 hours. So yeah, thank you for shooting with me, Maury. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you everybody for joining in. We're gonna go ahead and find somebody to read.
That's what I was just thinking myself.
Minzy's on. Did you want to do a double raid?
Who is? Oh, Minzy?
Minzy?
Sure, we can raid Minzy.
Awesome. We're raiding Minzy! Alright, give me a second. I'll go ahead and go. Boom.
Get raid Minzy. Start raid. Alright, if you guys are subscribed, do a Ringo raid with a little bongo raid. Ringo. Not just say Ringo raid and do whatever emotes you want.
And let me make sure this thing goes through.
I'll see you guys on the other side.
And raid.
I'm raiding too.